go to. For the SAP project, the bids. This is paving Old Highway 61 from Arcola to Hollandale, Roy Sawyer Road, Stoneville Road, and Leland, and Old Leland Road. We received three bids. The lowest bid was APEC. It was $2,683,491.40. Yes, sir. Okay. And Falcon contracting was 2,986,773.80, and Murphy paving was $3,137,321.10. And I have your original. Yes. I need a order. I need two orders, or maybe you can put it in one. Uh, the state has a resolution because we received $2.5 million in state funds, so we have to have a resolution on our match of it. The match is $553,930. I think everyone was aware that we had a match for it. So I just need a motion to approve the resolution, and also for the president or the vice president to sign all contract documents. I think we discussed on the roads, general fund the roads. I think if originally we thought it was gonna be like $800,000, but with the bids coming 120,000 under, it was only 553,000. That's up to the board. Yeah, this is a rebid. Yes, 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 sir.
We did make a couple
Yeah,
edits
well,
to
I
add
updated it, so
new
I
numbers.
updated it through September the 13th. All right, real quickly, you see the census information. It's relatively stable. We still hadn't got back to the 1920 numbers of employees, and y'all are not the only county that's dealing with that. Most every county we deal with still has not been able to find enough employees to fill all the positions. So y'all are like that, but you did increase a few last year. As far as the claims, you can see the claims through September the 13th. Uh, 3 million net of 3,633,000. We'll probably pay a little bit more But in addition to that, there's probably at least another $150,000 to $200,000 worth of reimbursement that's gonna come on prescription drugs. So saying all that, I think we're gonna end up somewhere around 3,500,000-ish for the end of the year, which is, last year was 3,400,000, the year before that was 3,700,000, so it was a year, Mr. Benson.
Yeah.
You see the current rate structure right there. The next page, you see the new rate structure. The only thing that changes on the rates is the actual reinsurance. The reinsurance that covers y'all on large claims, it went down 1%. So the cost of the reinsurance actually gone down, so we're just gonna move that little bit of money over into the claims account. So if you look at the two, you'll see a little bit more money going into claims, a little less money you're paying for reinsurance. We do have 5 individuals that are gonna have slightly higher reinsurance limits because they are taking prescription drugs that run somewhere in the neighborhood of $200,000 a year.
Can I ask you, what kind of medicine is that?
Some of them are cancer drugs, like Stelara, and so, you know, to me and you, that sounds like a lot of money. We were talking to our reinsurer the other day, and they have a drug for a child, and it is $3.2 million for one drug treatment. Now, it is supposed to be a cure. So part of the problem is, Ms. Brooks, is prescription drugs. All these drugs that y'all see on TV advertising, like Stelara, that's $200,000 a year. And we've got a number of people on Stelara here. So,
It is
and we-
cancer medicine for cancer.
It's
That was actually, no, that was actually for, it's a variety of issues, what is it, the skin condition?
Psoriasis.
Psoriasis, and then complications of psoriasis,
Yeah.
also, ulcerative colitis, and it treats a variety of issues.
Okay.
Anyway, the main thing is, it's just basically a pretty even year. We're gonna end up about 3,500,000, and so all I need this morning is to, too quickly, y'all got new ID cards, cause the trust went away, y'all got new handbooks over in Shalisa's office. I don't know, she was gonna do all this at the first meeting of the month, and y'all all know she was unable to make it, so, anyway, just need to, renew the reinsurance agreement. Ms. Hansel has it. 2 places to sign, and like I said, the cost of the reinsurance has gone down by 1%. So relatively stable year, and I'll answer any questions y'all might have.
Yeah, I have another question. When I went to NACO, they talked about the medicine for diabetes. It's actually getting a nationwide lawsuit against them because they were overcharging. Are y'all familiar with that?
Is it Ozempic?
I'm not sure what the medicine is, but they just kept talking about the diabetes
So
medicine.
Ozempic's one of the big conversations that is being had in our business, primarily because it's being prescribed as a weight loss treatment, although it is not eligible to be treated as that. It is strictly it's not approved to be a weight loss treatment, but it's being used that way. It's raising costs to a lot of plans.
So what usually happens on those is they become class action lawsuits.
Yeah, that's what they talk.
If a class action lawsuit then because we're paying, we will get notified and see if we want to participate. So if there's any money in it, you know, in a class action lawsuit, each individual who got that drug is probably gonna get like that.
Well, more so it's about their overcharging cities and counties for the medicine. That's what they were saying in this is the National Association
Yeah,
of County
yeah,
Officials. And they were really, really adamant about cities and counties getting involved in their lawsuit because they're really taking advantage of the
I
counties.
will certainly look into it.
Okay.
I'm not familiar with that particular, but there's a whole lot of class action suits. Every day you'll see Morgan & Morgan or somebody else has a class action against this drug or that drug, and hurry up and get in, so.
Pharmaceutical has become the leading thing we are concerned with in the medical.
I can tell you, we spend a minimum of 40% of the money on Washington County claims is on drugs. A minimum of 40%. And we are working hard to try to get it down to 25%. So anyway, thank you.
All right, any other questions?
Make a motion to approve with the signature.
Motion to approve with signature, I need a second.
Second.
And a second. No other questions, all in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries.
Thank y'all, we
Thank y'all
appreciate
so
you.
much.
Thank you all. Dr. Oliver Johnson is down for number 7, but there's an error in what's requested here. He's actually requesting permission to use the convention center grounds on Thursday, the 22nd, for the O'Bannon Homecoming Parade. We did the same thing last year. We just need to, I need it in the minutes. I got a motion and a second. I need it in the minutes in order to be able to pass it on to the administration over at Western Line. No other questions? All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 8, this you, Ms. Smith, with the grant? Number 8 on the agenda, is that you?
It said Sharon Grant.
Right. Oh, that's her name. Expressing concerns regarding community. Is Sharon Grant here? I just saw Grant. She's not. We'll come back. Sharon Grant. Is she here? No, she's not. Ms. Smith, it's on you.
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
You all have my little sheet for for this morning's items that I have to present. Number 1 is the City of Hollandale. I provided the clerk with the official engineering cost estimate for $34,500. It's an order approving request for funds, ARPA funding, to make emergency replace 4 water hydrants that are compromised with the city's potable water system. Hollandale has been under water notice, and that amount is $34,500. ARPA funds are available.
So moved.
I got a motion. Need a second? Second. Got a second, Supervisor Benson. No other questions? All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I do not have any update. I don't know if the attorney has an update.
Yeah, I have an update.
Okay.
I spoke with Kim Merchant, the attorney for Hollandale
Yes, sir.
School District, and she indicated that her clients would be getting us a deed transferring their interest in that property back to Washington County.
Okay. And what's timeline on that, you think, Mr. Griffin?
Hopefully about the first of next month.
All right, so you'll keep us posted, or
Yeah.
Mr. Smith?
I will keep both posted.
Good enough.
Thank you, Mr. Griffin. Item number 3 is the Elks Lodge at 1818 Alexander Street. If you all recall, a couple of months, meeting in the month of August, there was an allocation for $100,000 to provide to the Elks as a sub-recipient of the ARPA funding. In the amount, it was previously approved. We were waiting on receipt of their UEI number, and I received that on Thursday. It was after I had sent the other 2 items in. So we're asking that that's provided in the agreement that I provided to the clerk. So just authorize the board president and clerk to execute the ARPA subrecipient agreement with the
Motion.
Elks Lodge.
You need a motion?
So moved.
Yeah, and a second.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. There are other questions? All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Nay.
The
Nay.
final-
Nay.
Hold up, Ms. Smith. I hear 1 aye. All right, that's 3. She made the motion. That's 3-2. Motion carries.
3-2.
Yes. Motion carries.
Okay.
Anything else on that one, Ms. Smith?
No, sir, that's it.
All right.
This item, this packet of information that I'm sending around to you right now is from the Mississippi Department of Archives and History. I provided it to the clerk for her records. There's a grant that's due on September 29th for various purposes. It is the Mississippi Historic Site Preservation Fund grant opportunity. The legislature approved this some time ago and put funding in place for 2023. I am recommending and requesting that you all would consider applying or submitting an application to Archives and History to support the documentation and preservation of Strike City, which is located southwest of
Leland.
Leland. It's across the street from Cabin on the Bowl. I've heard about Strike City. I rode out there, and there are still some structures there. But this would actually provide funding to erect some type of monument there or a visitor station where people could go and read about the history of Strike City, which it occurred in 1967. If you all watched the most recent PBS special entitled The Harvest, which focused on the desegregation of schools in Leland, Mississippi, Strike City was featured in that particular documentary. Very enlightening. Of course, you all know I'm not from Washington County, but to hear of the activities that the tenant farmers, they were working for $6 a week in 1967. So, no, yeah, $6 a week.
Right.
And they refused to accept that payment from the farm owner, and they started a strike, and the farm owner set all of their belongings off of his property.
Can I add a little piece to that?
Sure.
Also, they wanted, you know, the kids to keep working, but there was a man named Mr. Green. He was adamant that his daughter was gonna go to school. Her name was Bertha Green, because he chose not to send Bertha Green to the fields. She went to school. That was the first family they put off that plantation, and of course, the rest is history. And they went on a strike, and they striked, and they stayed in tents. And actually, Delta Ministries, which is now called MACE, Mississippi Action Community Education, they were one of the lead agencies to come in and really help those people build those houses for those people.
If you look at page 2 of the general information, what costs are eligible, acquisition and improvement of the land, and there's I don't know the name of the road that intersects with 82 right in front of Frakizi Grocery. Y'all know what that road is?
I know what you're talking about.
Is
Yeah,
it
Tribbett Road
Okay. The site is located at the intersection of Tribbett Road and Patterson Road.
Right.
There is a vacant lot there where a Head Start center was located. And that is the site that, in talking with Archives and History, would be appropriate if the county wanted to get money to acquire that. And also, at some point, put in place a plan to erect some type of site, physical structure to document the history of Strike City. And I think it's a big deal because it's gonna, heritage preservation, or the preservation of heritage and civil rights sites, is a big thing across this country. And it would be an opportunity for Washington County to draw visitors related to tourism. It will increase economic development. And of course, it preserves, the history of African Americans in this county. So I'm asking for approval, but you can see acquisition and improvement of land, permanent protective interests, conservation easements, appraisals, environmental reports, surveys, title searches and title insurance, closing costs not listed here. Those are the eligible costs, and I think all of those would be relative to this particular project if you decide to move forward.
I move that we apply for the 2023 Historical Site Preservation Fund through Mississippi Department of Archives and History for Strike City.
Got a motion?
Second.
And a second.
I do have a question though.
Come on.
How much would the grant be? I mean, what we
It would be
applying?
50%.
I understand, of what number?
We have not determined that number just yet.
Roadside Park used to be there.
I mean, there's gotta be some kind of, you gotta have some idea of what, when you're talking about match funds, because,
Right now, about 50,000.
okay, yeah.
They just abandoned it.
That's what I will develop the budget for right now, with
Okay.
50,000, and it will be part of phase 1.
Gotcha.
We're gonna talk with William Mills
That's part of it.
and get him to come up with a cost estimate.
Expand it.
But I would think 50,000
Okay.
would cover some initial costs, so that if we can get in to do the acquisition, if we can get funded for acquisition of land and any easements or covenants that need to be put in place, that will be considered phase 1. And then it allows us to go after additional funding for the construction of a building, or to put some type of site improvements out there, parking lot, lighting. And if as you all travel different places, I think one of the most impressive driving tours that I've been on recently is the Highway 80 Civil Rights Corridor between, really it starts just south of Butler, Alabama, and goes all the way to Montgomery. But you have different sites along Highway 80 where there are different placards that talk about this is what happened at this site. Even in the interim period of doing this particular site improvement, if there was something that could be placed there and then given to Washington County Convention and Visitors Bureau to market that site, that I think will bring people to see this is a part of Washington County's history.
All right, any other questions? I've got a motion and a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carried, that's unanimous, Ms. Hansel. Anything else, Ms. Smith?
Well, I thought Mr. Rucker was here to sign, but I guess he left. Okay. Thank you. That's all I had.
Thank you,
just
sir.
stay for Patrick. We just stay for Patrick.
Carl,
Any
yeah,
questions?
Four's here. She's
Four.
here, yeah.
Ms. Grant?
No.
Who?
Item 4.
Justin Grant?
Is she here representing him, the back left?
Yeah.
Okay.
We looking for Justin.
Oh, okay, well, I was wondering what happened.
Come up, introduce yourself,
Thank you.
and tell us who you are. I'm sorry about that, I didn't see you back
Fine.
there. Thanks,
Good
Lee.
morning, Mary Catherine Brooks, Chamber Director for the Washington County Economic Alliance. Just to give a little financial overview, and I'm sorry, Justin has COVID, so that's why he is out. To give a little financial overview, we actually are 127,000 to the good right now versus from this time last year, and that's not including our upcoming fundraiser that I'll talk about in just a second that you guys are all invited to. So far as a chamber update, we're at 279 total paid members. That is continually growing each week. I've also, we've reached out to y'all. Just want to reiterate that we have a ribbon cutting tomorrow at 11 o'clock at Shops on South Main. We'd love to see you all there. And we also,
Where is that again?
tomorrow at 11 a.m.
Where?
at Shops on South Main. I think it's the old Yarbers.
Oh, okay.
Right by the blue light.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'd love to have y'all there, and we also have a business after hours this Thursday from 5 to 7 at Emery Lee Boutique, which is in that same little area. Our golf and gathering and annual meeting, we've combined into one this year. That's next Tuesday, September 26th. The golf tournament is from 10:30 to 4, and the meeting begins with cocktail hour at 5 o'clock. This is at the Greenville Golf and Country Club. All of you, of course, are invited and have a reserved table with us, so just reach out to me or Carolyn if you'd like to bring a guest or you have any questions or any of that. We've also got the Rivertown Christmas Crawl planned for Saturday, November 4th. We're trying to reach out and include businesses from across the county and not just in Greenville. We've got multiple businesses that are already signed up for that. Also on the chamber side, I'm working to bring back the Leadership Washington County class since that hasn't been done since pre-COVID. We're also doing a Startup Youth Leadership Washington County class that will mirror the Adult Leadership Washington County class. And we've had several requests for a Young Professionals group, so we're working on establishing that. We're also working on a monthly speaker series for the business community and working on growing our committees and our ambassador programs. So far as placemaking from within our office, what we've done around the community the past month, we are using placemaking funds to focus to highlight and promote Christmas on Deer Creek and help fund more street lighting in downtown Leland. So I don't know if y'all have noticed the lighting that has gone up around 3rd and Broad. We're helping put funds into that. So it's not just for one event, but it's a year-long placemaking investment. And we have also applied as an intermediary in partnership with Greater Greenville Housing for similar lighting in the entertainment district along Walnut Street. We are currently updating signage on Washington Avenue. There's a sign in the over here in the Goyer parking lot that's next to the Family Dollar sign that's just blank. We're currently having that one redone with placemaking money, as well as the Vintage Arrow sign that's next to the Farmers Market on Washington. Did you have a question?
Yeah, tell the board what's going to go on that sign. That Ryan sign is right next to the depot building. That's what she's talking
Yes,
about now.
these are going to be like, welcome to the Central Business District, welcome to downtown. It's not advertising a business or anything like that. It's just, we're doing small beautification projects through downtown, just trying to clean up some eyesores. So those are those two signs. And then Delta Compass, in partnership with the Convention and Visitors Bureau, has applied as an intermediary for $10,000 to restore the waterfront Welcome to Greenville, Mississippi mural that's down on the levee. From the Economic Alliance standpoint, right now we have been working with Entergy to recreate a buildings and sites portion of our website, which is also currently being completely redone. But that buildings and sites portion is to make information more easily accessible to our site selectors to help grow industry in the county. We've also been advertising Washington County with multiple economic development resources online and in print to help with site selectors and potential industries. And also I just want to note that Justin will be presenting on innovative strategies for building public-private partnerships toward workforce development. This is going to be on December 7th at SEDC, which is the Southern Economic Development Council. So overall, we've got a lot of things that are moving really fast and in a great direction. And if y'all have any questions, let me know.
I know. On the youth age group for the
Youth
new-
leadership.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What age group are you looking for on that?
Well, we're aiming for high school, anywhere 9th to 12th grade, and we're in the planning process of this. So any input y'all have, we're open to.
Next question. What is the ambassador program?
So our ambassador program, you're basically an ambassador for the chamber. You have to be a chamber member, be affiliated with a chamber member, but you show up to all the ribbon cuttings and after hours and events. Some counties refer to them as like the red coats,
Okay.
but they're basically just a cheerleader for our chamber.
Okay. And my third question on the murals.
Mhm.
How, like, the city of Leland wanted to apply for funding for the mural, because I think Leland has about 3 blues murals.
Yes.
And they really need
They need to be
some-
redone.
They do. So what would Leland need to do to apply for
That's
some of the
actually
funding?
already on our radar, and that's something that Justin and I have talked with some Leland leadership about using some funds from some of this placemaking to see about having those touched up and redone. And there are several muralists that we've talked to as well that specifically do that type of work.
Also, I'd like to follow with you at a later time when y'all
Yeah.
complete the, I guess, look at the program to upgrade the lighting downtown
Yeah.
Leland. I would like to assist any way I can.
Okay, absolutely. We'll keep you in the loop.
Any other questions?
Do you want to provide that as a report?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. I sure can.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Thank y'all.
Appreciate you. Okay. Ms. Iris Stacker is not here. Do you happen to have Charlize's,
I do.
what all did we add to the agenda?
What was added to the agenda? Okay, you added Alfred Ambulance Service.
Ms. Brooks?
Yeah, we need to move forward, talking about the 200,000. I was brought to my attention by Charlisa that, she said she had spoken with you, Mr. President, by using the opera dollars. And so we need to move forward on that. I guess we'll be looking at 40,000 from each
No.
supervisor.
It depends on what you want to do. If you want to, Mr. Smith, give us a hand if you would. Give us a hand if you would. If you all remember, Pafford Ambulance Service came in and did a presentation talking about how they were having some shortages within their business financial, and they need some assistance. And they made a request to several of the supervisors to help them get $200,000. And, just one thought, if there were supervisors willing to, if it's a permittable expenditure, Pafford Ambulance Service wants $200,000. But that request they made to us was an annual contribution every year. Just can't happen like that, because we don't have an extra $200,000. You all know what our budget is. You know what we went through at this past budget session. And you know where we are trying to get to October. Mr. Smith, is that?
I would need to, what specifically are they requesting the funds for?
They're just requesting extra funding because they've fallen short on some of their financial projections.
Okay.
It's for
Well,
the operations, everyday operation of Pepper. It's for,
It's healthcare medical services?
Yeah.
yeah.
And what it is right now, we don't give them anything. Other counties are doing it, but it's just, the issue is at the end of the day, everybody does not have health insurance. Just as we saw numbers went down by hospital as far as payment, same is going on with the ambulance service as well. And we're probably one of the few counties that had not been paying anything. And so we're in a place where we must come up with this money, or we may not have ambulance service in this county
Question.
with Pafford.
Just a comment and just some statements on this. Number one, they're not, like the hospital is basically owned by this county. When we give them funds, ARPA funds, they're owned by this county. Pafford is not. It's a private company,
Private business.
for profit. Also, when they come to this the last time, and I believe them. I'm not saying they're not losing money, but my request was that you trust but verify. If you're losing money, let us see that you're losing money and give us some reports of you losing money, and then maybe see if there's other opportunities that we can help. But just for going on their word saying we're losing money, they're not part of this. Again, they're a company for profit. And I'm like Ms. Brooks, we got to have them, there's no doubt. But I'm just not comfortable doing that and not being, basically, some years ago, I don't know if you remember, the ambulance service was part of the hospital. So basically it was, owned, run by the hospital, which in return is owned, run by the county. So that would be a different story, but that is a private company. And I'm not comfortable doing it by any means at this point, especially after I've requested a financial statement showing where they've lost money, and then maybe we can see other avenues. But at this point, I'm not.
Anyone else?
Well, wait a
Let Jerry
minute.
go. Jerry.
Can
Ms.
I
Brooks,
ask a question, Mr.
No,
Chairman?
if you would, Ms. Brooks, allow him.
My question is, statement and question. If you all recall last year, we tried to apply to the Mississippi Department of Health for money that's like reimbursement that Pafford would receive. And the county at that time was not eligible. And they were gonna come back this year and make a request for that particular program. Did they come back?
what is the program?
Now, I think that program, and I don't think they
No.
did. That was requesting some training for in-house training, EMTs, stuff like, is that the one you're talking about?
I don't really.
That's what they were here at one
That's
point
what they
for.
Okay.
Yeah.
That particular fund, if they have not requested, I don't know what that deadline is, they could certainly apply for that and then use that to supplement perhaps in an area where they are experiencing,
Would they have to apply or the county apply?
they and the county.
Okay.
Ms. Carter had to send something to State Department of Health last year. And I know that she sent something to them which would have made the county eligible to apply this year. So I guess we can ask Pafford if they plan to make that application.
But-
And that will provide like I think it was $150,000, $170,000.
Would you look that up for us, and also for the next meeting, just see where we are, if we need to move forward with the ARPA dollars, if we can actually do that, and have that information for the next meeting.
Not a problem.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Mr. Smith, we appreciate you.
Sure.
Thank you.
What else we have on the agenda?
Mr. Griffin,
Yes. Thank you. At the last meeting, we were asked about the hauling, solid waste hauling by uncovered or unsecured vehicles in Washington County. And Ms. Brooks noted that we had already done an order on that. I don't think we did an order. However, because there was not a need for an order, there is a state statute that mandates they must have covered or secured or sealed vehicles at all times when you're on the highways and streets of Washington County or any county in this state. So the state has preempted the field in this area. What I did was, however, to prepare some notices that we can get out to the various haulers of solid waste to inform them that littering is illegal and there are serious consequences, not because of what the state is doing, but not because of what the county is doing, but what the state says. The state say you can fine them up to $25,000 per violation and are 1 year in jail, okay? So I think based upon that, we need to seriously notify them if you're gonna strictly enforce it, and I don't see no reason why the county should not begin strictly enforcing it by notifying them that effective, say, October 1, you're gonna request that our law enforcement and the sheriff department begin strictly enforcing this particular statute to ensure that our county is clean and free of litter from these solid waste haulers.
Yeah.
So what I did was, I put together two documents. one, a narrowly tailored document, one, a board order, and it essentially articulates our mission that we want a clean county, okay? And that the statute will enable us to do this without any ordinance from this board. But the specific statute of 1711 authorizes this board to strictly enforce state law, okay? Not go beyond state law, but to enforce up to state law. The fines do not have to be $25,000, for instance, or 1 year in jail, but you have that authority based on state law to ask that that be imposed, especially if you got serious, chronic, repeated violations of the statute. So I would recommend that you approve an order notifying these vehicles, truckers, and other vehicles hauling this solid waste that you're going to begin strictly enforcing the law. Secondly, I would recommend you authorize the clerk, and I prepared a notice to be published, authorizing the clerk to publish notice of intent to enforce the state littering law, which is that particular statute, okay? And, to me, that is the only way you can get control of what obviously you have concerns about in this county. That is, a filthy county, and you hear it all the time, you see it all the time, that this county is filthy, okay? And much of it is caused by trucks that drive down the road full of garbage and full of other debris and whatnot and spill it. So I strongly recommend that you approve these documents.
I have a question, Mr. Griffin. With the fines, I know in the state law it says up to $2,500.
25,000.
Oh, $25,000.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so for Washington County, will we have a certain standard, like for your first offense, your second offense, or third offense? Because I think when you say up to $25,000, if the right judge comes, you say, well, I'm not gonna fine you this time, but I think it should be, an offense. Whoever he is, they will be the ones to make that decision. I think we should have something for the first, second, and third offense. Like, let's say the first time you get caught 1,000 times, if you do not have the tarp on. The second time, 5,000. I'm just giving some numbers. Second time, third time, 25,000. I'm just giving out numbers, but I think we need to be really detailed on that with those businesses versus just saying up to $25,000, because we want to make sure they understand we're about the business, and I don't want the first time being $100 or $200. No, sir. I want to be a real fine. If you have a business and you're picking up solid waste, you need to get a real fine because it is a state law. You know the law, and you choose not to put a tarp on. Because when I drive down Highway 82 from Leland to Greenville, it's deplorable. And he is correct. Most of that trash is coming from those dumpsters. I've been behind them. It's just flying everywhere, and they choose not to abide by the law of the land in the state of Mississippi. So I don't want to give a little crummy fine. We need to give a real fine so they understand they need tarps.
Lee?
Should we send those notices certified mail to them so that we
No.
know that they've been signed
Advertise.
for?
No,
And
No.
that they are realized on the notice? Because here's where you're going to get into also is if you do issue a fine, well, I didn't know
Yes.
about this, I didn't know about this. And
But-
to have
but-
some proof to say, no, your company did know about this, you signed for the letter.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, Mr. Gordon. First of all, ignorance of the law is no
understand.
excuse. That's the first thing. Secondly, anyone in the business of hauling this stuff already knows what the law is.
Right.
Well, then why don't we send out the letter then?
Well, what I'm saying is, in these notices, I'm recommending that you post it at the courthouse and that you publish it in the newspaper. We don't know who all these businesses are, but you can notify them and put it on our web page as well, okay? That's more than adequate when you got a state law that the businesses know about. Every one of these businesses that's hauling already knows what the state law is. Each knows.
Well, I understand that, but my point to the certified letter is to get their attention, to say, hey, we're serious about this, because if we're sending out certified, you're on notice basically, and I would be along, you know, when you, something like that, and then you could monitor it, but I'm like you, the first, you know, you have a first, second, and third offense, which I wouldn't want to go that, I would say 500,000, 1,500, you know, something like that.
Start down 1,000, we about the business in Washington County.
And let me say this, you know, whatever the board does, you know, first of all, the court does, the justice court has discretion on how much to fine to impose and the jail time. However, this board can certainly recommend to the justice court what the staggered fines ought to be, where you start, and so forth. And so we think this is reasonable, and start there, because, I mean, to constantly require our people to get out there at great cost to the taxpayers of this county and clean this up is clearly not fair.
Yeah.
Okay?
I would still make an argument that, because that's been one of my pet peeves since I've been here. That's why you have the trash cans. That's why we've done what we've done so far.
Yes.
I still think doing the certified letter to the commercial businesses and the people that haul would be important, just to put them on notice, to let them know that we're serious. That would be, I think, the right move to make. And I would suggest, as far as just recommendations, like you said, they have the discretion to do what they want, but the recommendation would be first fine 500, second 1,000, third 1,500. That would be my my thought.
All right.
Just one other thing, I hear you, but I don't want the county to get caught up in a situation of, we send out to the companies we know, but not the ones we're not aware of. I don't want it to seem like we're excluding anyone, because you do have the small companies that's doing this. I think if we advertise, we got the local news here, we have DDT, we also have Delta News here. Of course, if it goes on our website, if it also go on our Facebook page, the word to get out, and we want them to understand that, first of all, from the beginning, it should have been dealt with from the get-go. It shouldn't be that we have to emphasize this state law, because they all know about it.
Well, but here's the thing, though. What would be the harm in sending out certified letter?
Well,
what would be the harm?
Okay, what if
So
we leave out a person? Now we send it up. Let's say we send out to all the ones we know, but let's say Mr. Jim just started doing it, we didn't send him a letter, then he can say, well, you know what, y'all didn't send me a letter, so I should be fine because y'all send everybody else. I just don't want us to be in a place we've been excluded because we're leaving someone out. I just think if we really, really advertise it with our local news and our local newspaper, we have it on our website, we have it on our Facebook page, and, you know, I think that would be ideal.
Okay. Everybody good? Give us your name, Mr. Colin Brent.
Well, you gave it to me.
Name.
Thank you, Collins Brent. I was wanting to ask Mr. Griffin, does this include folks that haul limbs and stuff?
Yes.
Yes.
Because I passed a guy who
Yes.
had a trailer with limbs that about 8 foot tall, and he's leaving a trail.
That's solid
behind,
waste.
And you gotta dodge.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
In
It
answer to your
does.
question, Mr. Brent, that is solid waste.
All right.
Yes.
Let me, if everyone has finished, let me do this. Anytime you want to start to enforce the law, number one, we're gonna have to include conversation with the sheriff department, because we'll need an enforcement. Number two, we need to make sure everyone in the community knows there's nothing wrong with giving warnings. I don't have anybody who works around this county who can afford a $2,500 ticket.
25,000.
That ain't happening.
Well, I don't have a problem with it. If you come
Well,
on your
you
third
gotta
time,
let me finish, Ms.
the
Brooks.
third time, that means you disrespecting the county.
Well, let me finish, Ms. Brooks.
Okay, go ahead.
That's not gonna happen in this county. you're not gonna put that kind of pressure on a business. We're gonna make sure that they come into compliance. And we're gonna have to be reasonable when it comes to people who continue to violate the statute, the code, the law, because the place is in horrible shape. We've got to get the municipalities informed as to what we're planning to do. Once somebody steps outside those corporate limits, they will be given warnings and then eventually cited for that violation, which does include small trailers, limb trucks, that kind of thing. The Washington County plus the city of Greenville, we have our own issues that we've got to work through. Our own issues that we've got to work through. So let's not forget that. But let's have a conversation with the Sheriff Department about enforcement, the ability to enforce, and we'll talk about what the punitive issue should be, reasonable punitive charges or issues or damages or whatever it is.
Yes, sir.
Reasonable.
Mr. President.
No, I gotta let Mr. Brooks go.
Only thing I was gonna say, I agree with you, we do need to have the municipalities included in this. It should be a countywide, ordinance that's being enforced, state law being enforced. I think we do need to reach out to each municipality, so they can, express the same concerns in their city as well. And also with the punitive damages, I have the utmost respect for Washington County.
Yes.
And I just feel that the first time after we put it out, it should be a minimum of $1,000 because you should have got your tarp, whatever you need. If you get caught the third time, you clearly need to be paying $25,000 because I feel that you don't have any respect for our county. And we got to raise the bar in Washington County and start giving these little small little fines. Well, I gonna pay this, the little $500. What's $500 to a company and they're making money? No, we demand you respect our county and keep our county clean.
Anyone else?
Yes, a couple of things.
Come on.
Number one, the county has authority to enforce state law with respect to littering, even inside the municipalities. It says streets and highways and roads, okay? Streets are in municipalities, all right? Secondly, whatever this board decides with respect to fines is simply a recommendation to the Justice Court judges as to what the county recommends, okay? They still have the absolute discretion to depart from your proposed fine schedule, all right? Up to $25,000, all
Up to.
right? Yes.
Can't exceed, but they could go under.
No, they can't exceed $25,000,
Right.
nor can they exceed
The states.
imprisonment for 1 year,
Okay.
and both,
Understand?
yes.
Everybody understand?
Mm-hmm.
Outstanding.
One thing I like to say, I'd
Need-
like for us to follow up on this again. After reaching out to the municipalities, I think we do need to follow up on this a month from now to ensure that the word is out, that we're getting real serious and strong and hard on litter in Washington County.
All right, well, I'm gonna need a motion to go ahead and sign this document today.
Can
And we can-
you tell us what's all in the document? I know he told us,
Yeah,
but I want to
I've
hear exactly
essentially
what's in the
told us
document.
what's in the document.
Mhm.
One, to inform all businesses of this ordinance, of the state statute. And secondly, to inform them what the potential consequences are. That's it. Yes.
I got a
But those
motion.
consequences, but we haven't put a dollar figure on them for suggestion and
Well,
to the
you
courts.
could do that in a separate order.
Okay.
If you like, I would recommend if you're gonna do that, to come up with something and let's address it at the same meeting, but I think you need to go ahead and make this effective.
For that.
Yes, and so that Ms. Hanson, go ahead and publish it.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. Any other questions? Now, with us doing that, we still have to have the conversation with the sheriff because
Yes.
this is an enforcement issue.
That's correct.
Then we have to make sure the municipalities already know. Now, some municipalities have a $500 fine already posted around within their corporate limits. I don't know if we have any out in the county, but we do have no littering signs.
Yes.
But also, more so in municipalities, just saying no littering, but we're more so putting more emphasis on ensuring that you have a tarp over your bowel solids truck while you're picking it up. I think that's the piece that all our cities along with the county, we really need to place emphasis on that.
Anyone else?
I'm just curious, over the last 5 years, has there been one fine for any of this in this county, period?
Not in Justice Court.
I wouldn't think so.
No.
Yeah, so yeah, so.
No, it's
okay.
gotten completely out of control. That's why we have the
Yep.
issues that we do have, but it's time for us to take a position and start doing things to kind of help with the cleanup.
All right, you got a second.
I got a motion and a second. No other questions? All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Mr.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
yeah, that's unanimous, Mr. Hansel, I'm sorry. Mr. Griffin, we'll get together and have a conversation with the sheriff
Yes.
about enforcement and get this communicated.
Okay.
The next order should be authorized clerk to publish the notice.
I need a motion.
That's all part of that.
Is it?
I
So
separate.
moved to
Thank you,
advertise.
Ms. Brooks. Need a second? I need a second.
Second.
Thank you, lady. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Go
Mr.
ahead,
President,
Stern.
can we add the odor contract to the agenda because it expires at the end of this month? The board needs to
Absolutely.
decide what it's
The
going
what
to do
now?
with
The Odal, what's the name of this company?
that.
Bose.
Bose Consulting Group.
Mr. President,
It's on
there
there.
was one other thing dealing with this order we was just addressing. It was to the media. Would y'all most definitely share or carry on that this new order
gonna
that we're
publicize it in the paper?
we pushing in Washington
We gonna
County,
publicize it in the paper?
both of the new media people.
Arthur needs to see us too.
Thank you.
Arthur too, he needs to see us.
Okay.
I would ask that that be added to the agenda so we can.
Add it to the agenda?
Yes, sir.
So moved.
No. The Bowles?
Wait a minute
Yeah,
now.
both.
Yes, right.
All right, yeah, that's what we're asking
thought-
for. I got a motion to add Bose Consulting.
Okay.
I got a motion, need a second?
Second.
I got a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's unanimous. Lee, you had something?
I was just telling we need to add Arthur too. He had something he needed to share with me.
Okay.
The question is going beyond September 31st. September 30th, what the board gonna do.
Should this be in closed session?
It's contract negotiation.
Not necessarily. If you wanna go in executive session, you can, but.
Well, just in according how, deep
Yeah,
it
we-
goes. I
it's
think it
gonna
would be
go
better
deep.
in executive
It's gonna
session.
go
Okay.
deep.
All right.
It's going to do, what we do, we go ahead and add an executive session to discuss Bose Consulting Group and contract negotiations is the reason.
Okay.
Give me a motion for the executive session.
We going in there now? Okay.
I want to just add to the
Yeah.
agenda.
Add to the agenda.
I'm just adding it to the agenda.
So moved to add to agenda.
Got a
I
motion?
already made a motion to add to the agenda.
You did.
Yeah.
I got a second.
Second.
I got a second, Supervisor Gordon. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. So we'll go into executive session at the end of the meeting to discuss Bose Consulting Group. All right. Ms. Perry, want to see us? I don't see, where Mr. Sears go?
Mr. Perry, how you doing? You doing all
Fine, doing
right?
good.
I tried to call you like 3 times Saturday.
Sure did.
Okay.
You need to
What
deal
I'm up
with
here
that
today,
cemetery
we got a
over
truck
in your
down,
district
garbage
and
truck
call a press conference.
that went down, the axle came all the way out of there. And it's one of the new garbage trucks.
I'll talk to you about it.
Both wheels came
There's a
out,
cemetery down there.
all the axle came out.
How many miles on it? How many hours on it?
That 2000 and, for them trucks.
But we're up to, for,
2001.
yeah, but we're up to replace them, I think, this
That's
year,
fine.
this coming year.
But when
Yeah.
was the
Remember, we
last-
had a buyback on those.
But the only question I'm gonna ask Supervisor Gordon to Mr. Perry is when was it last serviced? That's what I wanna know.
Yeah.
When was it last serviced? And what did you find during your last service? Don't answer now, but we'll talk later.
But you
Okay?
got, but what, so you got it in the shop now?
No, we got some quotes on it. No, I ain't got it in the shop. But it's, the axle what tore up real bad on it. I mean, it could have been real bad.
So you got quotes on a new,
Bad
you got,
axle.
Really?
Yeah,
Mr.
but it was out
Perry.
there on Suited Road, where it quit at.
So what's the, price you got?
I did, the quote for, Mid-South is gonna cost $10,500 to fix it.
Okay.
I noticed, I have a problem, but I'm not making a big deal out of it. You called Lee when that happened.
No, this is the first I've heard about that.
Is it?
Yeah.
This is the first I've
He
heard.
did not contact the equipment committee.
I apologize. It just happened last Wednesday.
And it, when you,
I was
it-
out Wednesday.
all right, but when you came back to work on Thursday,
I ain't come back there, I just come back today.
all right, but you had somebody that works with you, right?
Yeah.
All right. And my question gonna be, when we talk later on today, when was the last service and why is it that your people can't fix it? We do have
It's-
mechanics,
it's-
right?
We do, but that type of mechanic work,
How much we pay them an hour?
Not enough,
Don't answer that.
not enough.
but that
But
type
what
of
we're
work,
getting, that's debatable.
that type of work that you talking about, those things had to be spec back in the right band,
Right.
bushel. It go up in a house.
We know how to put, we'll talk later, but everybody, what are you requesting,
So
Mr.
what,
Perry?
you got two quotes?
I got two quotes.
What are the two quotes, Mr. Perry?
Yeah,
Mid-South is 10,500. C&M diesel repair is 10,100 and $10.75.
where are these businesses located?
Mid-South is in Jackson. C&M is in Greenville.
And that's the cheaper one, 10,100.
So you've had good experience with C&M?
Oh, yeah.
So we'll go with the lowest.
Second.
I got a motion and a second for the lowest. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Anything else, Ms. Perry?
Is it?
I got
Tell
a
us where
question.
you all,
Quote.
okay,
Ma'am,
you need the votes. Lee, you had a question for Ms. Perry?
On your side cutters, you said they supposed to be back when?
we hope we get them back this Friday.
Okay.
This Friday. The problem is we having a hard time getting parts like everybody else is.
Right.
But all that's new though.
Yeah, but they having problems getting the new parts.
It's still a supply chain problem across the
Yeah.
United States of America.
Right. But he telling me that.
But the problem is, April will be 2 years ago when we ordered that.
That's about right.
It is.
The
We bought the truck, it'll
Gordon.
be 3 years before we
Good
can
God.
get it.
Supervisor Gordon, it ain't just Washington County, it's all over like that. Cause I ran some bids and, some of them just getting stuff in 2.5 years later. The supply chain has been on a whole nother ball scale.
Any
So
other
do you, I'm sorry.
please.
So do you have, I know what are you doing for, why this truck is out? What are you doing?
We got the, we got our
Oh,
old truck. we
good.
have right now.
Okay.
And plus we use, the knuckle boom truck, whatever it takes to get the garbage out.
Okay. All right.
And I was listening to you all about the, what the lawyer was saying. We also into that too, hauling debris and trash. Our knuckle boom truck, they don't come with a top.
But you have it secured with the boom on top of it. That's what he's saying, with limbs, that you got that secure.
Right.
But anything else like the other stuff we haul, sometimes it needs to be covered.
Trash,
Yeah.
garbage.
And we do haul trash and garbage with our big truck.
Well, and then you
We'll give you
also,
a
with
ticket too.
the 3/4 ton or that 1 ton and that
Right.
trailer, it's got a
Operator.
tarp for it.
Top on too.
Yeah.
Any problem, Ms. Perry?
Ms. Perry, thank you for,
I just want.
You gotta
y'all know
cover
that
it.
We do it too.
Oh, we already said you all were guilty.
All right.
We
We in the
already said you
blame,
all were
we in the
guilty.
blame too.
Yeah,
yeah.
you guilty. I'm
Also,
sorry.
but thank you again, sir. The people were so happy. I called you about the people garbage.
Oh, yeah.
They said y'all came on and got them. They were very
We-
excited.
we-
They were happy that
We
they,
just were running a little late.
they like y'all. They said, tell him thank you for his service. I said, yes, ma'am, I tell him.
We just were running a little
On
late.
Hinton Road.
Right, that's right.
Talk to us about the drag line.
Oh, we driving pilots. Yeah, we drove 4 last Thursday.
And how many people you're training?
2. Got 2 in training right now.
You got 2 in training.
We can't slide a third one in. And
Right.
the reason
Well,
I said that,
we
Mr. Perry,
planning on when we get the guy comfortable in the seat, those 2 guys comfortable, then we can,
That's somebody else training. So right now
cause
you're
we
down.
paying real money for this training.
know.
And the
And-
other concern is
Yeah.
making sure our people are really cross-trained when we
Yeah.
need them.
Yeah.
All right.
I work on that,
Miss-
our distributor truck right now. The guy out with COVID, but I had another guy to drive the top truck. We already got him trained up, And that is a good thing to do, to have.
The
different
cross-training, that's important.
people. Yeah.
All right.
Also, we down now, we're getting ready to come to Newton Road.
Good. Thank you.
I want to ask you about that Newton Road too, nigga.
We can get together later. I'll holler at you when we leave.
Because it's a section in there, it's a queen on.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
1,000 feet.
I'll
Thank
ride
you,
that
Mr. Perry.
Look at it.
That was it for the additions?
No, we had the Sportsplex.
No, the sports, sir.
Let me give Mr. Seard first.
Oh, go ahead. No, I'm good. And Jeremy in the back.
And Jeremy,
is still-
golly, okay, I'm sorry, Jeremy. Come on, Mark.
Okay. Good morning.
Morning, Mark.
I have two proposals for my personal property appraisers. I have a proposal from Herring Appraisal and Computer Services. The amount is $45,000 for a one-year contract. And the second proposal is from Southern Appraisals and Consulting Incorporations. This amount is for $42,000 for a one-year contract.
Who are you with now?
Southern Appraisals.
That is the one that's 45?
This one is 42.
What do you
42,
recommend?
the cheaper one?
Stay with the current.
And they are the cheaper one too?
Yes, sir.
So moved to stay with the lowest and best.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. If no other questions,
Which
all in
that was
favor,
Southern Appraisal, right?
Yes, sir.
Southern Appraisal.
show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Show Ms. Brooks to wait mercy. Anything on this here?
Yes, sir. I have a notice to increase. This is for Trustmark National Bank. They're on the corner of Broadway and Main Street. This building was not picked up. This new building should have been picked up for 2023 tax roll. I asked the board to allow it to be picked up on our roll.
So moved.
I got a motion
Second.
and a second. So,
Is that the new bank is built?
Yes.
Okay.
all right. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Notice to increase as well. Dollar General Holdings LLC. They're on the corner of Broadway and Alexander Street. This building was not picked up for 2023, and I asked the board to allow us to add this to our tax roll.
That's the new one also, correct?
Yes, sir.
So moved.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Notice for reduction. Bland and Sandra Tharp, B-L-A-N, and Sandra Tharp. Mobile homes should have been in class 1 with land and other buildings because homestead was filed for 2023. We assessed it at 15% opposed to 10%, and it will be reduced in the process. So I asked the board to make this correction for 2023.
So moved.
I got a motion
Second.
and a second. Supervisor Redmond, all in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. So Supervisor Brooks, wait mercy.
This one is Jesse James, and this is regarding a mobile home that was erroneously assessed. We had the width and length at 60 feet wide and 64 feet long, whereas it should have been 14 feet wide and 64 feet long. I'm sorry, and 60 feet long. 14 by 60 is what it should have been. We had it at 60 by 64 for 2022. So when he actually paid the taxes, the tax bill was $2,810.86. This was for 7 months, whereas he should have paid $713.02. So he's going to be due a refund. And we corrected it for 2023 as well, which the taxes were not paid. The taxes for 2023 for the full year was $4,285.96. This is when he brought it in and brought it to our attention that something was wrong. And so the correction for 2023, the full tax amount is $902.91.
So-
That's the board to correct it.
It's but he still has a balance on that. There was one year that.
For 23, yes. he
Okay.
does have a balance.
Okay.
Is this for Jefferson Bank?
No. This is for Jesse James.
Jesse James?
Jesse James.
That okay, so it'd be refunded instead of a credit moving forward.
2022, he should be refunded $2,097.84.
Gotcha.
For 2022. He did not pay the 23 taxes when they came out, which was $4,000. He brought it to our attention that something has to
Be wrong. Oh, gotcha.
And so that's when we found the error that was made in 22.
Gotcha.
All right.
When he read
If there are other questions, I need a motion
So
to
moved.
approve the refund.
So moved.
I got a motion. I need a second. A motion and a second. If there are no questions, all in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
One
Motion
abstention.
carries. Motion carries. Ms. Brooks abstain.
So I spoke with Ms. Lee about this already, and she asked that the board pay this from general fund and be reimbursed when she begins
No.
collecting mobile home taxes again.
We've never done that though. that, as far as since I've been sitting here.
That's what she
Yeah.
asked, you know, so.
No,
It's the first Sunday in every month.
yeah.
That's a request. What's the board's, what's the pleasure?
We've never done that.
I mean, is it legal or not legal?
That's what I'm saying. I've just never, since we've been sitting, I never remember paying out of the general and then being her reimbursing us. I
Well,
guess.
maybe we
when-
need to get the attorney in so we all know, because
Yeah.
I don't know. Nobody
Yeah.
knows the answer.
Yeah.
Where's the money normally come from, Ms. Sear?
It normally comes from the fund that, the issue is.
That the money went
tax
into?
collectors,
Yes.
the tax collector. That's where it was paid into.
Right,
So,
that's where it need to come from.
from, yes.
Apparently there's some type of problem that she has with going back.
She might need to come see us then.
Yeah, yeah.
I appreciate you.
So she settled the money, so she doesn't
Yeah,
have it.
that's correct.
That's the problem. So that's why. it
That,
goes
say
back
that
to the
again.
county. Ms. Lee has settled.
So she turns it over
That's
to
right,
us
she turned it
already.
over to the
Gotcha.
county. And
Yeah.
so, at that point, that's why.
Well, I guess we need to refer to the, like I said, the attorney just to see if we can do that. I see what you're saying. She's already settled with
Yeah,
us
she's
with it.
already settled.
Got it. Gotcha.
I don't see why we couldn't.
She's collected the tax.
Gotcha. All right.
Jeremy? Hey, Ms.
That's understandable.
Hey,
Morning.
I just got two things. The first thing, Mr. Hawkins, when the last board meeting was here, and he got his contract approved, and he asked me, did he get approved to start advertising?
yeah,
So he
Mr.
did.
Griffin had that.
Yeah, Mr. Griffin, yes.
Good,
Okay.
yeah, let's make sure.
And the last thing, I just wanted to get, permission to, hire a person. I got a slot open, so I just need to get permission from the board to hire one.
Some of,
Is this a replacement?
It's a replacement.
Somebody's left and you're
Yes,
just
somebody left
replacing
to
someone?
replace,
Where's that in? What does that
It's
in?
gonna be building grounds at the shop
Okay.
on Raceway.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. They know what the questions. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
do we need to get the attorney to answer these two questions?
Ma'am,
Get the attorney to answer the two questions?
no, ma'am.
I thought didn't we just say we need to get the attorney?
On the,
Yeah,
no,
you
the
did.
tax thing.
Yeah, on the tax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We will. Thank you, Jerry.
Okay.
Anything that you want to share?
Now, I'll just tell you, we should take care of that in the morning. All right.
All right. Ms. Stacker? How you doing? I'm good.
Oh, please.
Morning. Good.
Well, first of all, I know one of the burning issues is that we were talking about the audit that's needed from the hospital for
Yes, ma'am.
2022. The auditors contacted us this morning. We'll be able to review it today, and we will get it to the board of supervisors by Friday,
And what date is that?
the 21st.
Okay, good.
Thank you for that.
Okay, you're welcome. The next thing, I know I've already submitted our budget, but I wanted to maybe give you a little bit more detail that you all can look at, and I was
Is this one apiece in here for us, or is this for Ms.
One piece
Hansel?
for everybody.
Okay, all right.
And just go over what the Y24 budget will, what assumptions of what things we consider to be able to come up with a budget. The first thing I'd like to say is that for the first time in a long time, we look like we'll be having a positive budget for the fiscal year 2022. 2023 and 2022, as you know, were significant losses. Thank goodness, fiscal year 23 is not as bad as what we thought it was going to be. We thought we were going to be losing around $17 million, and it looks like it's going to be a little over $1 million, probably about $1.5 million. But
That's
just
great.
projected.
Yeah.
That's a blessing.
Some of the things that we're looking at, 2022 is not really changing. We're just doing some things to ensure that we are viable, is that we can look for a decline in inpatient volume. That's one of the things that's historically been going on within the nation. Everything is pretty much going to outpatient. We're starting to have more outpatient surgeries. So we're looking at a 1 to 2% decline in inpatient volume. We're expecting our observation volume is when somebody comes to the hospital but not considered an inpatient, but they stay a couple of days, to kind of remain stable. And we're thinking that our outpatient volume will stay stable as well. Patient revenue, we projected it in a fashion that we feel like we'll be able to increase it just a little bit. Our contractuals, we've been working really hard with Medicare and those Advantage payers. So we think our revenue will increase about a 0.5% with Medicare, Medicaid about a 1% increase. And our bad debt, as you know, how much money we're paying to bad debt will probably increase about a 0.5 also. have extended what we've been looking at with our grants. They put some new constraints in the grant process with the federal government, and we haven't even got that sustainability grant yet back from the state. So we're looking at projecting that to maybe come in fiscal year 2024, but we're not banking on that. We're not gonna project our budget on grants because we don't know if they're there or not. It's one of those things that you talk about, don't count your chickens before they hatch. We're not projecting any new grants. Most of the things we're doing grant-wise now is more patient care-wise, whereas we're kind of a break-even, but it increases our ability to help with maternal child, infant mortality, those kind of things. We're looking at that, partnershiping with Dr. Carl Reddick out of Jackson, which Congressman Thompson asked us to participate in, and then the one that we're doing with Delta Health Center to help. One of them will help us to reach out and take care of maternity patients better, and the other will give us a social worker that will work with those people, so when they come in, don't have prenatal care, we'll follow them throughout their pregnancy to ensure that they get the appropriate care they need, as well as the infant once it gets here. For our expenses, we are not looking at any salary adjustments for this year. We're gonna be good stewards of our money. Our supplies are increasing once again about 2 or 3%. And our pharmaceutical costs, especially in the oncology side, is gonna cause us an increase in pharmaceuticals and drugs for about 5 to 8%. Any capital expenditures that we look for this year, like the residency program and some of the other things, we're gonna have to try to get either monies covered that by grant or our congressional ask that we have in place that we're gonna submit sometime by the end of December. Our cash is gonna be tight. However, we're looking at a cash on hand to be about 50 or 60. So even though it's gonna be tight, we'll be able to have some little progress in that aspect also. One of the good things that has happened that we've kind of gotten to the point that all of our account payables are focused right on the medical center and on Delta Health System, so we're not having any monies going outside our account. And that's one of the things that the board has focused on that, and we're ensuring that that's happening. One of the good things is the elimination of Clarksdale and Senatobia is starting to get us into a position that we can start making some headway on the accounts payables that we have, because you know how much money we had tied up and still have tied up in accounts payable. We're still focusing on paying our local vendors first, and then trying to get some of that debt out the way. We have some long-term strategies of focusing once again on reducing our expenses. But we're not focusing on our employees or trying to do anything with them. However, we're looking at our contracts and our professional services and anything that we have outsourced that we feel like we can bring back in, start using local people, giving our economy a boost, and also decreasing our costs. We're also looking at, we've got to start increasing our volumes. And with that, we've got to start looking at our service lines. And those service lines that we are no longer providing that we can bring back, we're looking at some physician recruitment, provider recruitment, and getting our patient volumes in revenue up. So do you have any questions for me?
Any questions, Ms. Stacker?
I do.
Okay, Lee.
You said, so you got to project it for 1.5 million loss for the year?
Yes,
Is that
that's projected unaudited.
And what was it last year?
Last year, on fiscal year 2022, and it's still unaudited because I hadn't got the audit back, but we're looking at $23 million loss, if not even more than that. For fiscal year 2023, when we did that budget for us, and you know how our numbers weren't as good as they are now.
Right.
So we projected about a $17 million loss, and we are looking at maybe a 1.2 million. So we really have done some good things. And I must say, the grants and the monies that we got from the county, I mean, those are the kind of things that got us over the hump on that. But we did do a lot of things, and you know, the strategic plan that we had to reduce our expenses and look at what we were doing, it helped a lot.
But on this projected budget, as far as your grants, you didn't put any grants other than your basic stuff that you get yearly, is from what I understand. So this is not, so basically, if you just happen to, you know, get a few grants, you'll be in the positive, you know. So Well, I like that because again, you're not looking at grants and this is a real number that you can look at, you know, and versus the last 2 years is tremendous in my mind that,
And
you
these
know.
last 2 months, I have really been proud of my team. These last 2 months, we have had a positive budget on the hospital side with no grant monies included.
That's wonderful. Wonderful.
Any other questions? Ms. Stacker, you said cash on hand was how much?
We'll be about 50, right now it's 52 days of cash on hand. but
50
we're
to-
looking at
okay,
a
50 to
projection
60
of 50 for 60 for the
Okay.
next upcoming year.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions?
I have one more.
Come on.
What was your count, your bed count right now? How many
How many
beds?
people we have in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
hospital? Right now, we have 63 people in the hospital.
63, and what are you capable of taking?
We've gotten up to about 90.
Oh,
And I think
good.
we could be, but we don't have, once again,
The
I don't
nursing.
have the nurses.
Yeah, you got the
However-
space, but not the
However, one
staff.
good news that I talked to my chief nursing officer this morning is that we have 5 nurses committed from Delta State to start after they graduate.
Good.
So, and they usually, and I'm telling you, the turnover on nurses is really bad, but they usually stay 2 years, and then they go off to do their, greater pastures. But even getting that for those 2 years, that'll be huge for us. And as more nurses that we get, then the more patients we can take. And one of the things that we've noticed, and I've really been paying attention to, is that we can have one call in, and that messes up the whole bed count.
Yeah.
And that stops us from being able, and then that's why people are complaining about being held in the ED, because we want to take care of you in a situation that we can, but we can't take you on the floor because that one nurse called in. And then that messes up the whole shift. Because if I call in for my night shift, well then I can't put anybody on days, any more patients on days, because when night comes, there won't be a nurse to take care of them. So those are the struggles that we have.
And I'm sure it's hard just when something like that, it's hard to get a part-time person just for 1 shift or 2 shifts. And I may be, again, my background's not in healthcare, but just a question because, I see other people who have done this and I've done it in the past too. And you may have explored this already, but have you ever looked at, I know there's tons of nurses that's retired around here, if calling on them and them working part, just when,
Yes, we
y'all have tried that,
Yes,
okay?
we have.
Yeah.
We have a PRN pool, we call back on nurses. A lot of them are tired.
Yeah.
Even our nurses that are working day to day are tired, doing those extra shifts and staying overtime.
Yeah.
But I think this new nursing class will be, and then we're out there, and then people always ask us, do you recruit? Yes, we recruit
Yeah.
constantly. We over at Delta State, we reach out to all of our local colleges, and then, like I said, we even started a homegrown, grown
Right.
from high school. So we're doing it on all avenues.
Ms. Stacker,
Yes, sir.
how you doing today?
I'm fine, how are you?
Does Delta provide any scholarships
Yes,
or
sir.
stipend for any
Yes,
of
sir.
the?
Now, we haven't been able to do as many as we can because of our financial situation, but we do. When we can, we do.
Which college or university do you support? with?
Anybody's. Anyone that comes in and go, hey, I'm a nursing student, we don't go by colleges, we go by the person themselves.
Okay.
Okay. Do they return?
Yes, some of them return, but then some of them don't. And then we put that money in them, and sometimes it's very hard to get it back. But most of them do come back. And I'm even looking at that. We've even started looking at that with people, and I comb the newspapers and talk to see people that are going to medical school, going to PT school, anybody. We start sending those letters saying congratulations and getting that, contact with them, letting them know that their community does care about them and is interested in their careers. And we want our people to start coming back home. That's the only way we're going to be able to grow as a town, as a community, as a county, and as a hospital, is to get our children to come back home, especially those in the healthcare field.
All right. Ms. Stacker, just one other thing, if you would, I need your
Yes,
help
sir.
with something. Delta Health Systems actually owns a number of doctor's offices or clinics that have been closed. Is that correct?
Yes, we were given Dr. Blaylock's. It was donated to us, so it's pretty much empty still.
Okay.
And we have a few others, but not that many.
Is there any way we can get a list of those
Of
assets?
course. Yes, sir.
Please provide that for us,
Okay,
if you
I'll
would.
get that to you today.
Thank you.
I have it in my office.
If there's nothing else from the board, we appreciate you.
All right, I
And
appreciate
look
you.
forward to Friday.
Yes. Oh, most definitely. If I had to hand deliver that puppy myself, you'll get it.
Right here.
Huh?
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. What else what else? Huh?
That's their
The
audit.
audit.
Will be complete.
Yeah.
The infamous audit.
Looking for it. Okay. I got Charlize's report.
Yeah,
My
come on.
report.
All right, all right.
Okay.
Yeah, you got Charlie's report?
I do.
Come on with it.
Good morning, board members. This is the county administrator's report for September 18th. We've expended 108.9% of our budget through September 18th, 2023, compared to a plan of 100%. So, you know, we're a little over.
No, we're a lot over.
We a lot over, but,
there.
you know, that's what I was
That's a
saying.
lot.
Okay. Our cash balance as of September 18th, 2023 is $16,182,102.48.
Okay.
Our ARPA cash balance as of September 18th, 2023 is $5,067,147,063. The total receipts deposited for August 30th through September 15th total $469,947.29. And we're requesting board approval of our claims docket in the amount of $485,708.99.
Any questions on claim play?
So moved to
I
approve.
got a motion and a second. If there are no questions, all in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Ms. Hansel, that's unanimous.
Okay. Payment request, requesting payment in the amount of $20,000 to Boys Public Affairs Group for professional services rendered for the month of August 2023 for Delta Health Systems.
So moved.
I got a motion and a second. Questions? If none, all in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Ms. Carter's requesting approval to make journal entries in our accounting system to eliminate the negative cash balances that would be carried over for the fiscal year. For example, grant reimbursements that take a month or two to receive from the state.
So moved.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. There are no questions? All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Requesting approval to allocate first quarter funds to the tax assessor, tax collector, the sheriff's department, Washington County Regional Correctional Facility for the 2023 through 2024 fiscal year.
So moved.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. That's unanimous, Ms. Hansel.
Okay. The O'Bannon High School Homecoming Committee is requesting to begin their homecoming parade at the beginning of the road adjacent to the new baseball field,
Right down there.
to turn right heading towards the convention center, then making an immediate right towards Raceway Road and concluding back at the starting point. The parade is scheduled for Friday, September 22nd, 2023 at 1:30 p.m. And they are requesting the board's participation in this parade.
Okay.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. No, we had already done it, but that's good. I just need to get a document or something to the administration at Western Line.
Okay.
This board did approve that.
All right, requesting the approval along with the board president's signature on the annual computer software support agreement with Delta Computer System for our accounting system and payroll system, tax assessor software, and tax collector software.
So moved. So moved.
I got a motion and a second. If there are no questions, all in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. That's unanimous, Ms. Hanson.
Okay. Board, you have received correspondence from the state treasurer, David McCray, and this is the payment to the state of Mississippi under the Federal Flood Control Act 33 amount of $8,012.79 are available for payments to your county and under the Federal Flood Control Act. The U.S. Corps of Engineers required that the enclosed assurance of compliance form be completed, and I need to get permission to get this form completed and have the president sign it so that the county can receive this $8,012.79.
Motion?
So moved.
I got a motion, I need a second.
Second.
All right, any questions? All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. That's unanimous, Ms. Hanson.
I got it. Attorney. Okay, who made that motion?
Supervisor Gordon?
I did.
Second by Supervisor Benson.
And then
Yeah.
Redmond second.
Redmond, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Thank you, Jerry.
Okay, I have the grand jury report for you today from, the circuit clerk. This is for the July term of 2023. I need the board to approve this report, and, if you'd like to see it, here it is, right here.
Need a motion to accept?
Point of information, what are they saying in the report?
What was that, Brett? Ms. Brooks?
I said, point of information, what are they saying in
I was
it?
Link
passing
to
it.
the report, can I have it? Why don't we put it on the agenda to discuss at the next meeting, because maybe.
We're
some
just
items we
accepting
need
it,
to-
She
didn't
can review it right
You
quick.
want to discuss it?
Maybe some items we need to address.
Yeah, all of them we need to address, but she can review it.
Yeah, right.
If you pass it to her.
What I'm saying,
So what
I
you
think
like
it needs to be, how we go about addressing it.
We'll add it to the agenda for the next meeting.
I move that we accept the report.
All right, I got a motion.
Oh,
I
I'm
know,
sorry.
We already got a motion and a second to accept. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I will say this on it.
That's unanimous.
The last 3 building grounds directors, we've asked for the last 8 years to give us updates on reports of some of this stuff being fixed. I've yet to hear one report in 7 years
Yeah.
of anything, being fixed. Now, I'm not saying it wasn't fixed, but we've asked every single time to hey, give us, because most of it, a lot of it's here in this courthouse.
Yeah.
What's been, fixed, and what's been taken care of. From Mike all the way up to now, we've asked for reports on that, and we yet to haven't gotten any report on
I'm
that.
gonna give Mr. Smith credit, because one thing that was cited was the flooring in DHS, and that project is underway, so.
But it hadn't been, what I'm just saying is
I got you.
update
You're
that
right.
report. I'm not, that's what I'm saying. I don't know what's been done, and,
What hadn't.
yeah, that's right. I mean, a lot of it may have been done.
Okay, good enough. Ms. Brooks, he'll pass it on to you whenever he.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna need
We
a
gonna
copy
get it-
of
we'll
this
get it
right
back.
here,
Keep
'cause
moving.
I ain't gonna be
So
out of the
we'll
meeting.
Yeah, I had a motion, everybody voted unanimously to
Miss-
accept.
I have to
Counsel.
accept the
Hey.
report, yes.
Can I get a copy of that when you get a chance?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
And then does any other board members want a copy of this?
I do.
Grand jury report,
Yeah, put one in everybody's box.
one in everybody's mouth, okay. I don't think I have anything else to bring to the board's attention other than I have received the Hollandale School District's audit from their auditors, Fortenberry and Ballard, and it's gonna be on file in the county clerk's office for anyone who wants to
Okay.
review it.
You familiar with this? And the second sheet about the account for the 600,000.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, do remember this.
I need approval to initial it.
This is, the funds that we received from the state legislature, right?
Yes.
Right.
For the approval of those roads,
600.
Airedale,
Airedale, Sydney,
Sydney, and.
Esther Street, $600,000.
Right, okay, we had to set up a separate account, and so this is from the Mississippi Department of Finance and Administration. It's a contact update list, and it has to be signed by, Mr. McGee authorizing, the three contact persons, Shalisa Carter, Carl McGee, and Marilyn Hansel. And then we also have a verification form that we have to complete and send back to them to let them know that the funds have been put in a separate bank account. They are telling us, giving us directions on quarterly reports that have to be provided to them. And of course, we'll be getting the bank statements and invoices of any expenditures that we have that will be sent to them. So we just need your approval for us to be able to do this.
So
So-
I got a motion?
Second.
And a second. And is to set up the bank accounts to keep these funds separate.
Yeah, the bank has already called me, Mr. McGee, and said
Okay.
they're waiting for signatures.
All right.
Okay.
And when it comes to now, there's another 500,000 that we should be getting for the city of Greenville. We actually had it backwards, 600,000 for them, 5 for us.
For the airport. That one's for the airport, the
Yeah.
500,000.
Yeah, but I've been trying to get assistance to make sure that everything is straight on that end in Jackson. And as soon as we get everything cleared up and those funds start to come, we'll notify the city that they've been received and they can start using those funds. But all in favor of the motion, show by a sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Show Ms. Brooks away from her seat.
Okay,
And that's all that you have?
yeah, that's all that I have.
All right, good enough. Chief? Hey, Chief? You ready for us?
Good morning.
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 Sheriff is requesting to enter into an agreement with the JAG grant with the city of Greenville in the amount of $8,359.95. That's the JAG grant to purchase some equipment for violent crimes.
Gotta get a
So
motion?
moved.
I got a motion, Ms. Brooks. I need a second. Thank you, Chair. And Tommy? All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. That's unanimous, Ms. Hansel. We're gonna get out here as soon as we can, y'all. Everybody got quiet on me.
And I'd just like to report that the Blues Festival, as far as the sheriff department is concerned, we had 0 arrests when it come to disturbances, when it came to any other violations, that everybody acted pretty good.
Outstanding. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Also, with the sheriff department, he gave us a list of the items, you know, we talked about it before, items they need in our sheriff department. And everybody got a copy of it?
This here that you just give us?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
it,
Yeah.
that's it, yes, sir.
Well, let's pass it out so everybody be on the same page.
Which one?
Everybody get 2.
For the sheriff's department?
Yes,
Okay,
there are 2 sheets.
all right, there's one that says,
Yeah, they turned different.
There's 2?
Yeah. Those are the same.
no,
That's
the
different.
same.
Are these something that, yeah, I know, but
Same, okay.
are they, is this something that's, that it's grant funded, or how are we looking at this? Or is this just something that was any of this put in the budget? Let me say
No,
that.
it's not, we're looking at ARPA dollars.
Oh,
So-
ARPA dollars, okay.
Yes,
gotcha.
ARPA dollars.
Okay,
So the
got it.
concern is we haven't given the sheriff department anything, and he's correct. We do need to help out, you know, on some of their projects. Like some of the things he's saying they need, like the drones and the rifles, the AR-15, body cameras, tablets. Those are things that we can fund the ARPA dollars. Now he has another piece on that I think is very important. I know financially through the ARPA dollars, we don't have the money for the live body scanner. He explained to me that, of course, we've been hearing about people going into the regional jail, and they're going through the regional jail and they sneaking the stuff in, and also it's for the safety of this courthouse and also the convention center. But I think that's something we need to look at, but we won't be able to look at that with the ARPA dollars because we don't have those type of ARPA dollars at this point. But I would like to support him on these other projects with our ARPA dollars. Altogether, it come out to be $144,000 and $144,055. So
I
if
must be looking at something different than you're looking at then.
I say excluding the live body scanner. The live body scanner is $727,000.
Okay.
How much? No.
Let me explain something. On the sheet, it says, I gave all mine out. On the sheets, it says,
Here.
the first sheet, the total request is $871,999.21. The second sheet, this is the overall, the $871,999.21 is the overall request of what the sheriff has indicated that he needs at this time. We are removing the live body scanner
Right.
for the Washington County Regional Correctional Facility, Convention Center, and the courthouse. Though there are three of those requested at $242,648.07 for a total of $727,944.21. We're going to try to identify another funding source to take care of that particular request. And if you notice, the cell phone detector is not included on the second sheet. Sheriff is requesting one cell phone detector at a cost of $7,515. If you add that $7,515 to the second sheet total of $136,540,
It'll come out to be
it comes out to be
$144.55.
$144.55.
Yes.
144.55.
Yes.
$144,055.
So I'm making a request to all the board members that we each take out 28,000. How much? Let me tell you. We all put $28,811 from our opera dollars, and that would cover the $144,055. $144,055. Because at the end of the day, we all want to feel safe. And I know we all have identified certain things in our opera dollars we want to spend, but the same token, public safety is always first.
Okay.
And can I get finished, or you don't
Yeah,
cut
you
me
take
off?
it too long, come on.
No, please don't do me like that,
Yeah,
because I
come
don't
on now,
do
we
you
gotta
like
go.
that.
I think everybody's on board, Ms. Brooks.
Okay. Well, don't interrupt me, and I won't interrupt you.
Well, you do all the time. But come
Well, are you finished talking and I get finished?
on. Yeah, I am, come on.
As I was saying, we need to be good stewards, and I think we all are good stewards. So I like to make a motion that each supervisor would put $28,000. How much? $28,811 in the pot for the items for the sheriff department. That would come out to be $144,055. That's my motion.
I got a motion, and I got a question coming up. I need a second. Come on, Lee.
How much money have you spent of your ARPA money? That's what I thought. How much money have you spent? How much money have you spent of your ARPA money?
I got a list. The list that.
How much money you spent of your ARPA money?
Almost all
Can
of
I
it.
answer your question?
900,000.
Actually, I talked to Mr. Andrew Smith, and he gave us a breakdown of our dollars, and we all have $28,000 there to go towards the sheriff department. Every last one
Yeah,
of us.
my point is, you need every bit of this, and I'm sure you'll get my point is this, and I'm getting so sick of it. We vote on stuff, do not know where the dollars are coming from. We don't know how much we've spent. We're not getting account of where our dollars are at. We've asked to see exactly what the balance is and everybody what they've spent. Same thing goes, look at this budget. We're 108%. We're over $3.5 million right now of our budget. We've never been like that.
How much
We'll,
again?
$3.5 million. We'll be $4 million over budget. Hold on, Ms. Brooks. $4 million over budget. We have never been like this because we spend money, we don't know where it's coming from. You've got to stop that. We put the cart before the horse. Ms. Brooks, you get in a hurry and you want to do these things and you don't have any idea where the money's coming from. Let's find out where the money's coming from and then make a decision of where we get it from and what we do. 108%. It's going to be more than it's going to be 110%. We'll be over budget this year. What do we say? What do we say to the taxpayer? We're spending money. You're getting into your surplus that you cut that in half now. We don't have it. Next year, I predicted it 3 years ago, and it's come. I said this will catch up with us financially, and it's caught up with us, and you'll see next year, you'll see the difference. So I'm not saying you don't need it, you do need it, Sheriff, and I'm sure we'll get it. But just to come in here and say we need this, let's all put 25,000, give us some numbers so we can look at it and say, yeah, this is where to come from, and then I'll be glad to do it.
Let me do this.
Can I
Let me-
please,
right
because
when I finish.
he asked some question I want to address. He asked me some question I like to
Go ahead
address.
and do the
Okay,
best you
so
can.
at our last meeting, Mr. Andrew Smith gave us a breakdown of all our ARPA dollars. Yes, he did pass out. You might
Go ahead.
take time to read yours, but I read mine.
Yeah.
And on it,
Well, you couldn't answer how much. Go ahead.
well, I don't have it right in front of me,
Right.
but I did remember that we all had over $100,000 left over, pretty much almost. Let's say 70,000. And so I'm looking at one of the supervisors. So if we got this money, how do we not move forward and use
I
ARPA
agree.
dollars
I
for
agree.
it? So, Mr. Smith, right now, do pretty much each one of us have at least $28,000 left over in our ARPA dollars to assist the sheriff?
Only change from your last ARPA report, your last amount. Mr. Redmond has made 3 additional allocations, and no one else has made
Right.
an additional allocation from
Okay.
that. So your balances are basically the same, except for
Mr. Redmond.
All right, let me do this. Go ahead, Lee.
You're missing the point is what it's already earmarked for, not what's been used, but what it's been earmarked for. So that's,
Mr. Smith, let him finish, Mr. Smith. Let him finish. Go
so
ahead.
that's what I'm saying. There very well may be, Mr. Smith, but nothing is in front of us showing what the balance everybody has earmarked for. And I'm not saying what has been spent to this point, what it's been earmarked for, because from my perspective, I had 300,000 going to the Glen Allen Water Association, 500,000 going to the Black Bottle Water Association, and 200,000 going to the park, Paul Love Park. So that's $1 million right there. So that's my point I'm trying to make, and I think it's very valid what they're asking for and needed. But we got to have stuff in front of us to say, hey, this is what you've got left in your funds.
Okay.
Yes,
well,
no. Go on, Mr. President.
Thank you,
speak.
Ms. Brooks. Thank you, Ms. Brooks.
Yes, sir.
No, hold up. Let me say this to everyone in this room, around this table. If you're going to come in this room and ask individual supervisors to put something into a project or a very, very well needed initiative, talk before you get here. You have no clue as to what a supervisor may have committed to, whether it's helping the school districts with needed assets, whether it's helping one of the parks with recreational assets. You don't know that. So to come in here and catch us blindsided in the meeting is extremely unfair. Let me be very, very clear one more time. My money is committed to making sure citizens in Washington County have access to safe, clean drinking water. That's the number one priority. I want to be clear about that. And next time you want to poll me and ask me for funds that are for District 3, check with me before I get here. Don't catch me in here because the answer is always no.
Okay.
Ms. Brooks.
Okay, if we all recall, at our last board meeting, well, maybe 2 board meetings ago, the sheriff, along with the deputy sheriff, came before us and made a request. They were very adamant, so they didn't just come out the blue sky and bring this to our attention today. They came before us and they were very adamant. We all agreed. That we need to have to assist the sheriff department. Now, today, we've put it together where we can help the sheriff department. So, Mr. President, you're inaccurate. They made the request.
Well, I'm very accurate.
Okay,
so don't come in here and ask me for anything.
Okay, they came
now,
before.
they made the request, and I actually told them that they were a huge part of our budget already, and that we left that where it was. Now, any additional conversations you may have had outside this meeting, don't have conversations and commit District 3 assets without talking to me. That'll never happen.
Well, let's be clear. I last learned if I'm not wrong, this is unit system, okay? We're not a beat system, if we all remember that.
You made that, the vote that we have the $1 million.
And I did, but the
And I
same
appreciate
token,
that, so
and you
let
know
me
what?
use it.
But let me, at the end of the day,
Don't spend it for me.
at the end of the day, it's a unit system. At the end of the day, we see all the crime going on in our county. We see it. We watching the news. We seeing the murders. We seeing all this crime. How do we not? We have not give 1 penny to our sheriff department, and the sheriff department is pretty much running all the municipalities. He's running Leland. I mean, we see what's going on in Greenville. Let's not act like we blind and we cannot see all the crime going on. He's running Hollandale. He's running Metcalf. He's running Hollandale. He's running the whole county, and he's only asking for a measly $144,000 for the supplies to help keep our county safe. That's hogwash. So I have a motion on the floor that we donate $144,000 and how much? And $144,055 to the sheriff department to get the items on this paper. That's my motion.
You're missing the point. There's no doubt everybody knows that it's well needed.
Okay.
The point that Carl's making, when we come in here, we don't know what to expect every single time. And you're right. The sheriff is running everything, just like Miss Brooks is running everything at this table and in this county. You run it. You
Okay.
got your votes, and you're gonna get. Hey, get it. It's out there. Get
But
it.
we got-
So no. Let me finish.
You
I've
finish,
got
and
the I've got the
I'm
table.
clapping right
so
back.
so that's fine. So you're running everything. So it's always your idea, because when this money first started, it was everything. It was gonna go here. All that's changed. You come for the housing. You wanted that. That was your idea.
It was
for the
unanimous
Elks
vote.
Club. Everybody gives something out of that. So my point is, hey, there's no doubt. Don't sit here and try to act like myself and Carl don't care about the crime and the things like that. I've been real patient. I've tried to sit here and listen to stuff. I've been real patient, but you sit here and you put your spin on it like we don't care about that. I can assure you the sheriff and the deputy chief and every one of them knows that we support them completely. But I'm a physical, responsible person that it's going to be. So again, we've never been like this. 110% of our budget. So keep explaining that to the public and stuff. So
Okay.
but put
I'd
your
like to
spin on it. Go
respond
ahead.
to
I'm gonna come to you,
No,
then
yeah.
I'm gonna speak.
So let's be clear. Let's go back. I'm gonna say congratulations. At the end of the day, it's about public safety. It has nothing to do with Marla Brooks. I just know what I see what's going on in our community. I go in the community and I see what's going on.
Nobody's arguing that.
Are you gonna let me speak?
Go ahead.
Let's be clear. I never said you didn't care. I never said President McGee didn't care. You made that comment. And as far as the money overage, let's not forget we had to give $1.5 million to the hospital. So if you did, well, altogether it was $5 million, but 1.5 came from our ledger. The $3 million came from ARPA. So that's a major part on. So
$4 million over.
Okay, I understand. So 1.5. You know what? At the end of the day, that means certain things were not taken care of. Because when I came to Washington County Board of Supervisors, I saw a lot of roads jacked up. I said we're actually doing the roads. We had bridges not being repaired. They're being repaired. Let's not forget about COVID. Everything has gone up. This is not 1999. This is not even 4 years ago. 4 years ago, the cost of living has gone up almost 5%. So you like you said, you a numbers person, okay? Everything has gone up, but at the end of the day, we have to find ways to move our county forward. Do we sit there and not take care of public safety when we see all this crime going on? We'll never get no industry here if we don't take care of public safety. If we don't get a share of what we want, it's hard to bring industry here, okay? So the first thing we got to do, we got to make our community feel safe. So this is not about me, because I'm not even in law enforcement, but I know what I see what's going on. I know when I watch the news, and it seems like I'm watching news in Memphis or in Jackson. That's what I'm seeing now. So at the end of the day, if we all about the safety in our community, and maybe it's not going on in your community, so you can't relate, but I see what's going on in Leland. I see what's going on in 4th District over here in Greenville, by the else. I see what's going on over the south side of Greenville, Holland and Arcola. So how do I not speak up and give the sheriff what he needs? It's a measly $144 million, and we got 8.5.
Yeah. Well, I love the racial comments you made, because that was
What was the racial
comment
comment I
not
made?
going on in my neighborhood. That's
let me let
fine.
him rap.
But let me say
I'm
this.
sure you
Let me
got
say
black
this.
people in your neighborhood.
You said
you don't have black people in your neighborhood.
Let me
But
say
that
this.
was not racial then.
Oh, yeah.
That's just in your brain.
Yeah. So let me say this. So we've done more in this county. Name me one major road that's been fixed in 4 years. There hadn't been not one. Now, we've done some county stuff ourselves, but you talking about the money that's been spent, not one major road has been fixed.
Right.
Ain't but one major bridge
Right.
been fixed, and that's in your neighborhood,
Right.
in your
Now,
town,
we-
where we fixed 27 before
y'all
that.
getting us off
We put
subject.
Reed Road out front. We done some stuff then. So if you want to be clear about that, but
All
I'm
right,
not going to sit here and
we're
listen to
getting
this
off
garbage
subject.
anymore.
Well, when I talk about
Brooke,
roads,
Ms.
let's
Brooke,
be
Ms.
clear.
Brooke, Ms.
It's
Brooke.
not about, actually, there's quite
You're
a few
not-
roads
you're
been
being-
done.
you're being
As a
rude.
matter of fact, we're getting ready to do, there's quite a few roads been done all through my district. Now, if you're not keeping up
We've
what's
done
going on
it
in your district-
in-house.
Oh, what about the lady over in Glen Island that came here and talked about her road?
Brooke.
You
It's been
must-
fixed now.
That it's called asphalt.
Ms. Brooke.
We
Are we
do
not
it.
are we
Me,
not clear how
over the
much
guy.
asphalt has gone up?
Ms.
So
Brooke.
let's be clear. Roads have been done. Maybe not in your district, but
Ms.
in
Brooke.
District 4, we're gonna take care of District 4,
Now.
and I'm gonna work hard for every
Brooke.
citizen in Washington County to ensure that they feel safe, whether you like it or not. So if you say
All
that's
right.
a Marla Brooks initiative, God dog
You
it,
keep
it's a Marla
disturbing
Brooks
the- You keep
initiative.
disturbing the meeting,
Way to
Ms.
go.
Brooks. It's not gonna be
I'm
all
not
right.
disturbing anything.
Well,
When
you
he
need to-
clapped back,
you need to be under
and wait a minute,
control.
you check
No,
him.
I did
No,
check.
you keep saying
Now, I'm not
Marla
arguing with
Brooks. Don't argue. Don't call
Mr.
my
Smith,
name. I'll call his name
Would you
out.
answer a question for me, please?
Let me make a quick
No.
statement.
Can you answer a question for me, please? Please do.
Mr. McGee.
Please answer
I
the
think
question.
it's really important that, that I make this statement and relate to your ARPA funding.
Well, let me ask you a question about our opera
Sure.
funding, if you don't mind.
That's fine, sure.
When you look at the individuals around the table who's made commitments with their opera dollars, who made commitment with their opera dollars, who have made the least amount of commitments and have the most left? You don't have to be scared to say it. I'll say it for you.
No, I'm thinking.
You don't have to think, Mr. Smith, you know.
No, okay. What's the answer?
The answer is District 5, District 4, the least amount of money committed.
The least amount,
Nah, yes.
amount committed is District 5.
I said 5 and 4.
Okay.
I said 5 and 4.
I don't think that 4, if based on board action,
Based on conversation with you and their intentions for use of those funds. You know everything that I wanted to commit to for my funds with the 3 different water associations.
Winterville.
From Metcalf to Winterville to Golden Acres.
Okay.
You know what the initial commitment was for each one of them.
absolutely, and I made
You
a
know what the
note-
commitment was to Supervisor Benson over here. And you know what the commitment was to Supervisor Gordon, as well as Redmond and Brooks. My question is, who's made the least amount of commitments?
When Mrs. Hansel gave a report today for ARPA funding, she quoted $5 million.
Right.
And I made myself a note to go back because that amount does not reflect, that's the amount that's in the bank.
Understand?
That does not reflect the
Commitment.
allocations made by this board.
And that's my
right.
question to you now.
So, based on the last report that I provided to you all, Mr. Redmond had $535,000, well, that district was $535,000. The next district was District 1, then District 4, District 3, and 2 had expended the most.
Who has expended the most?
District 2, Tommy Benson, which was at the time $691,000.
How much District 3?
District 3 would be 300,000, 100 and 260,000 because, and 50,000.
We've done the 50,000.
You've done the 50,000.
But now, when we
and-
started out, we allocated a certain amount of money to each one of the water
And
associations.
based on the board action, District 3 has committed $300,000 to Metcalf,
And
$160,000.
that was the initial commitment to Winterville and Golden Acres. Not what they finally get, what we're going to end up settling and spending. Right now, we have money committed just in case for overages.
Based on the engineering report, it's going to be $150,000 for Golden Acres, and it's $160,000 because that's what you allocated. MDEQ matched those.
Okay.
So that's 160 plus 300,000, that's 460,000. Then everybody gave 20,000 for down payment assistance.
Right.
And I gave additional 100.
You did, and
Thank you.
I don't keep all those numbers in
All
my
right, but
head.
just off the top of your head, what's in District 4?
District 4 was an initial $200,000 for the City of Leland.
100,000.
100,000 for down payment, 120,000 for down payment assistance.
50,000 to the Elks.
Correct.
How much for the other?
50,000. And then I gave additional $13,000 for parks. So right now I'm right at a little over 500,000 left that we're gonna go towards parks, and it was some seating we gave for
383.
seat. So I got additional $500,000 left to go towards parks and other projects.
Oh, so
And-
you
and-
do have 145,000.
No, but what I'm saying, no.
I'm asking Supervisor Brooks this.
Oh,
Say what's the question again?
You do happen to have 150,000.
I do.
Okay then.
Mr. McGee, I want you all to understand that this is not a request from Andrew Smith.
We do
And
understand.
That's a question from me.
We understand, Ms. Smith. We knew that when the bus drove in the door.
Okay, thank
All
you
right.
so very much.
And I have a motion on the floor to give.
You have a motion on the floor
to give 144,000. $144,055 from ARPA to the sheriff department to purchase the items on this sheet that they gave us.
Well, you know you got supervisors who not gonna commit to that.
Well,
So don't know how
I
you-
made a motion that we give
Well, you don't have-
144,000. That's the
I don't
motion
want
I
to commit
made.
to it, but you don't have a second on it so far. So I got a second, Supervisor Redden.
So that's coming out of everybody's funds?
No.
Yes,
no.
$28,011 coming out of each funds.
No.
Yes, 144
It's,
coming
it's
from
got
ARPA.
to,
That's
you
the
got a
motion.
unit system. It's
I
got
know
to.
we got a unit system, but I don't tell, well, Vincent what to do over there in District 2.
But you're fixing to get told what to do with
I
yours.
hope he doesn't do that.
So,
You know, I'm gonna look for the same amount of respect that I give. And this is what we got committed for individual districts. If a supervisor wanna do something, I have no problem supporting that individual supervisor, just like we have done.
8 years ago, I got on this board, they get Washington County Sheriff, because they didn't do it before. Chief, I won't get up there and never give an opportunity.
All right.
And I'm gonna speak my part to this board.
I got a motion on the floor, and I got a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
I'm nay.
That's 3-2. Motion carries. Chief?
I would just like
Yep.
to say, sir, to all due respect, that I didn't really think I'd see the day that law enforcement would cause such an uproar because of things that's needed for a department. And if these things that are needed for the department are not just for us, they're for us to provide the proper services in this county. And that's all we try to do.
Thank
It's
you,
the
Chief.
same thing
All right.
that I'm hoping and praying that you all try to do, is to support the citizens,
All right.
the ones who vote you in.
Right.
And I'm certainly one of them.
Thank you, Chief.
But I really, really felt insulted because somebody was asking for help for this county to come through this sheriff department, and it caused such an uproar.
Well, let me say this to you, Chief.
Well, yes, sir, but just
No,
like
let me
you
let
said.
you finish.
Yes, sir, let me finish.
Yes, sir.
Because, as I said earlier, all of you all, every one of you, called the sheriff and asked the sheriff for some kind of assistance. And I'm what you call the chief deputy of all deputies. And I represent them. And I've told you that before. But I'm not gonna let these guys go out here and get hurt because people can't come and make a decision on doing what's right. I'm not a supervisor, but I guess what? I might get to be one. Because there's a day I'm gonna retire. And if stuff like this is gonna continue to go on, I most certainly will get out there and run.
You might need to, Chief.
Yes,
So
sir.
let me say this. There's not anyone around this table who does not support the sheriff department. But there's a way to do things. There's a way to do things. And I think everyone in the sound of my voice understands that there's a way to do things. There are people who can walk in this room with a certain level of credibility and get what they want. It depends on how you come. You got to come correct when you ask for something. You don't come in and blindside individuals and surprise people because you want to try to do things to get votes. Don't work like that. It's not going to work like that with me. I don't care what you're asking for. It's nothing against law enforcement or the sheriff department. I always support them, and they know it. But there are things that I'm not going to do, period. Sheriff, it's on you.
Good morning. First of all, I'll make this clear here. This had nothing to do with Ms. Brooks. This paperwork in here, I
I came to this board when we first started even talking about and request the money funds for the sheriff's department, just like other counties did. Now, we was asked to bring a list in, and we'll see what we can do. Because it was understanding, they were talking about salaries and doing other things, and they said, we're gonna put a list together. So we put that list together. First of all, on one of these here, where you got these 3 live body scanners at $242,648.07, which came out to be $727,944.21. This for this courthouse. This for the convention center. It's not sheriff budget. This for this county. This for Satan's in here. Don't y'all want to realize that women's coming here, that we got to stick our hands in their purses? Should we continue to do that? We had asked for a body scan a long time ago. And I had asked for it for the convention center in here because we provide security for these places. Now, $144,000 here, what we're asking for the guns, the drones, and the vests. And if it's there, I think that we should get it. And I'm speaking as a sheriff, I'm speaking as a citizen, and I'm speaking as all these municipalities in Washington County. I got a request right here today that I went to a board meeting the first of the month in October. They don't even have law enforcement. Don't even have law enforcement. Nobody down there providing law enforcement. So it's left on the sheriff department. They say they gonna have $40-some thousand in their budget for law enforcement. They asked me to come to this board and ask, would this county agree with it? That we're accepting and take the charge of law enforcement in Arcola because it's in Washington County. So they leave that, come back on the sheriff's department. Same thing happened in all these other municipalities. I wouldn't step in here and ask for these funds in here if it wasn't for things that we need. And we shouldn't have all this commotion that we done had in here. Because me and Ms. Brooks did not get together today and talk about this here. This was one of the last time we came in the board meeting. She said, if y'all put something together here, then we'll look at it.
Exactly.
I've been asking for this. Mr. President, I understand that you say you done got your money here, there, wherever there. That's fine. That's fine. I'm gonna request what I asked for. If this board don't give it to it, I'm not gonna be mad about it in here. Let the citizens of Washington County deal with that issue. All I'm doing is come in and ask for it is the right thing. Y'all know that I'm not gonna come in and ask for something that we don't need.
Thank you, sir.
If you would read, I want you to read on here because it needs to be said on it. You read on here, and yes, we did get some vests. If you don't think that these deputies need new vests, something wrong with y'all. And I'm gonna leave it like that. I don't wanna get out of hand with y'all. I respect this board and I respect the people of Washington County.
Thank you, sir. Lee.
Chair, I've been here almost 8 years now. Not one time, not once have I ever voted against anything for that sheriff's department. Not once. But I want you to understand, this ain't about the sheriff. What you going on here today
Not at all.
is not about the sheriff's department. Everything, and I've said it then, I say it now, everything is well needed, and it's your job to request that. And that's true, and you've done that. But Chief Barber gets up here and like we're against that. And I take offense to that because not one time that I've ever voted against that sheriff's department because, number one, I come from an emergency background. I know what it is. I spent 25 years doing that stuff, and I know what it is. But here's what I cannot do. I cannot ever. So now the situation that this board has put me in, not you, not Chief Barber, but this board. So now I've got to go back to the people that I promised that we're going to do this. I don't have the money to do it now. So what do I do? So the agreement we made up front, this board of how we would do the money is, Ms. Brooks, please grow up and quit videoing and grow up. Have some, please, your take, just the integrity of this, of this, it's just pitiful. Just.
It's already being recorded, but go ahead.
I don't care. That is just so pitiful. You're sitting over there like a child, just doing it with your phone.
Come on, get it wrapped up.
So anyway, but Sheriff, everything, I think you do an excellent job. I think the Sheriff's Department does an excellent job. And I don't want y'all to take anything thinking what you've seen up here has nothing to do with the Sheriff's Department. Not anything. No. But I'm responsible for the job that I do, just like you're responsible for the citizens of this county. And so it's my job to make sure when we do something that we can follow it up, make sure that we can afford it and do it the right way. So now I've got to go back to the people that I've told that we're going to do this, and I said, well, I can't do it on account of this. But I don't want you to think for one reason, minute, that myself or Carl McGee is against it. It's just, I'll be honest with you, if they hadn't have passed it, my next motion was going to be to approve it, but approve it out of another fund. But that's fine. It's went like it was, so go ahead. But I just wanted you to know that.
Yes, sir. Now, I understand what you said there, but I have to say it straight to you, that Mr. Gordon. This is something I understand where y'all say you had money set to the side for to do this, that, and the other. That's good. But I did come in this board meeting way ahead of time to each one of these supervisors, and I asked about this fund in here for things that the sheriff department would need. It wasn't, I mean, what it was, a year ago? So I come in and ask everybody. I said we need it. We need things that we needed for in here, and then I was told to put something together, and I put it together. Had to put together last board meeting in here, but I think it was too much different stuff on there, and I said take some off and let's put it together and give it to Mr. Smith. Yeah. And I have been working with him, talking about how trying to do it, but it wasn't nothing that no one supervisor had nothing to do with it. If I'd have had a choice for one supervisor to deal with on this issue here, I went right there to Mr. Redmond because he's in law enforcement. And I said, man, you need to give some of this here. But I did talk with him at one point in time, and then he said he'd be glad to help too, whatever he needs to do for to get the things that the department needs. And so that's why I come in here, and you all know in here, when she talked about those body scans and everything, we need. At one time, I think a judge in there come and requested back. And so those are things. It's out there at the correction facility. It stop employees from bringing in contrabands off into the facility. Convention center for safety, for everybody, every act that they have out there, for people's coming in there. These are things that we need. And so I'll leave it to you, I request it, and I'll leave it for the board whether they're gonna do it.
Well, you got it. I mean, they passed it.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Brooks.
Yes, just for clarity, because a lot has been said. All right, for me, public safety is a #1 concern for me. Even when I was on city council, it was a #1 concern for me. And so when the sheriff came, and he called us out because we had not identified any allocations to the sheriff department. When I made that request to him and tell him bring us something back, because initially they was talking about salaries, and we couldn't do nothing with salaries or ARPA dollars. So behind that, when they came back with this sheet right here, I knew we had to move forward. We just can't just arbitrarily not spend money in our county and not include public safety. Just as you, Supervisor Gordon, I had certain projects that I plan on doing parks in District 4. Yes, it was $28,000 taken away, but guess what? It's $28,000 that's going for all citizens in our county, from our youth to our adults to everyone in our county. So yes, it's not about we're not making decisions at the right time. Or as Mr. McGee said, trying to get votes. This is not about votes. I watch the news. We've studied seeing people getting killed in our community. So we have to be strong advocates and strong people to do the right thing for our community. We know that the things he said he need on here. He needs drones, rifles, AR-15, .45 firearm, vests, body cameras, tablets, data plan, activation. They really need these things. And by the grace of God, the federal government gave us this money to improve our communities. So yes, we want to do certain things, but we can't never overlook the sheriff department. And unfortunately, our sheriff department got so many issues going on. We all know he got to take care of those communities. I know when Leland need help, they call in the sheriff department. And I can think about this, we getting ready to have homecoming in all our communities, okay? We're gonna have a lot of family members coming, everybody come back support their public schools, their school, their alma mater. And so who's gonna be there with each town? The sheriff department, okay? So how do we constantly exclude them? Yes, unfortunately, whatever reason y'all two decide to vote against it, that's your choice. But don't get mad at me or get mad at anybody saying it's my agenda. I guess it will be my agenda if it's going to create public safety in Washington County, okay?
Right.
And
Thank
yes,
you,
and
Ms. Brooks.
one other thing, I will continue to record actions going on this board meeting because I don't have time to go back on Facebook and try to find what I'm looking for. So if you call this childish because I'm getting information out and putting it back in the community so they'll know exactly what's going on in Washington County in our board meetings, I'll be childish, I'll be petty because I want the people to know what goes on in Washington County Board of
Thank you, Ms.
Supervisors
Brooks.
meeting, and
Thank
you're
you.
welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Brooks. Now, we gotta get out of here by 11:30, we have an attorney. Okay. Come on.
On this Arcola deal,
Okay.
that I brought before the board, like you asked for, but
Second.
Probably moved and seconded.
it was determined.
I mean, what are you talking about?
Now, Arcola, he said they have $40,000 they're willing to transfer over. Is it legal?
We would need to do a contract with them, authorizing the county to provide law enforcement services in exchange for $40,000.
All right, that's legal.
Yes.
Understand, Supervisor Gordon? They have $40,000 in their budget, they budget for law enforcement. And they wanna give that to Washington County.
No, they're not giving it,
They
they're
wanna,
paying it.
wanna
in
pay it to
exchange
Washington
for law
County
enforcement
for
services.
exchange for law enforcement services. Any other questions? If there are no other questions, I need a motion to.
It's a motion and a second, but I got a
It's a
comment.
motion already in a second.
I have a
question?
comment.
I need a motion and a second.
Bishop Benson made the motion, I seconded. I do have a comment
That
to
was
other
okay.
municipalities. I think they may need to look at the same thing what Arcola is doing. Because at the end of the day, again, as I just said, the sheriff department is in every municipality. I'm sure because the home office of the sheriff department is in Greenville, they just automatically get on the scene with Greenville. There's a lot going on. So to all the elected officials that's listening to us on Facebook, Leland, Hollandale, Metcalf, Greenville, please consider giving some of your dollars to the sheriff department to help keep Washington County safe holistically.
Mr. President, can I
Well,
offer this?
No, yes, you can.
I would recommend you hold
Can't hear
off
you.
on that. I would recommend that you hold off on approving this until, what's the next meeting, October 1 or October 2?
2.
October 2, to enable us to negotiate the exact terms of this contract, and also to notify other municipalities of the opportunity, if the sheriff want to participate in this.
Well, let me say this, Mr. Attorney.
Yes.
Keep in mind, even though even Sheriff Milton Gaston has limits to what he can do with the resources he currently has. Now, $40,000 is not going to pay for a deputy with equipment and everything else.
That's correct.
So let's not load the wagon going public, ain't gonna happen.
Well, it's already loaded, Mr. President.
I understand,
because-
Mr. Griffin, what's happening, let me finish.
Yes.
But if you had all the municipalities decide they want to give up their law enforcement and put that on the sheriff, you also got to understand it takes more than $40,000.
We understand.
That type of
No,
assistance.
I'm not suggesting $40,000 from the other municipalities.
Okay,
I-
let's not do that.
Yes.
This particular move right here is not going to surprise me if he has to have some other resources to make it happen. Because we have to still make sure Washington County is safe, even though we're providing assistance to the other communities like he's.
Arcola is in Washington County now.
Arcola is an incorporated area.
In Washington
And under those incorporated agreements, they're required to provide certain services to be incorporated.
Yes, Mr.
Am I
President.
right or wrong?
That's correct, Mr.
And
President.
if they fail
But
to be
each
able to
one,
provide those services,
And what
they
happens?
need to consider filling out another set of papers.
And what kind of papers are those?
Go ahead, Mr. Attorney.
No,
Mr.
no, Mr.
Mr.
President, what
President,
kind of papers you
hold it,
talking
hold it,
about?
hold
If
it.
they can't provide the services,
we-
what's the next step?
we're not gonna get into
Exactly.
discussion, dissolution of a municipality and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
What we wanna talk about is, each one of these municipalities approve a law enforcement budget, okay? At some point, we're gonna have to look at whether or not they want to transfer those funds to this county in exchange for law enforcement services that the sheriff to some degree already provide, okay? Not, Metcalf doesn't have any police officers out there. Leland has minimum. Greenville
Has
is
minimum.
struggling,
Everybody's struggling.
okay? Hollandale is, Mr.
Struggling.
Redmond.
It's struggling.
Struggling.
So,
Matter of fact, they don't have a chief now.
Ms. Griffin,
yes,
not only do they turn that money over, they turn over assets as well.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Cars, weapons.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Okay.
Make sure you got that in the agreement.
Well, if in agreement, whatever the county asked for, then they're gonna have to be willing to do it as a condition preceding to assuming law enforcement in the community.
All right.
Okay? Can we, I gotta get out of here. Can
Yeah, we need to go to executive session. All right, Lee,
So
you good?
we need to rescind,
So,
I withdraw my motion.
Motion to,
Yeah.
motion
I mean,
to,
I draw my second, I'm sorry.
second to,
Benson, you made the motion, you withdraw your motion. Thank
all right. All right, Lee, you good?
Yeah, I mean, we had the sportsplex on there, but.
We're gonna, let's get, go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, we've already identified line items, it's some funding for the sportsplex. If it's gonna make, we need to have an appointee, we need to start our board, and people need to, and I encourage people to get people that's interested in it, and not just because you know people, because you need people that's wanna be involved, wanna do the things they need to do, and we need to get this going quickly.
Okay.
So you need to be thinking about somebody.
Everybody understand that at the next meeting, we need to discuss the formation of a board for the sportsplex and activities on that property.
I thought we had somebody, what about what's going, didn't we advertise for something with the sportsplex, Mr. Smith?
The second board meeting in October.
So I think we need to wait after we get the information back from there. What do we advertise for what with the sportsplex?
We'll advertise for professional services related to, someone coming in to do an inventory of your parks and facilities, look at the feasibility of either creating a countywide recreation department or establishing a county recreation commission, and provide you all with their findings.
I think we need to, you can start thinking about a person that you want to do, but I would like to wait to hear what whoever we pick from doing this, I like to hear what they have to say, and then we move forward. Because what's the purpose of us advertising for a person and we just gonna make our own decision without listening to a person help advise us on it?
Well, during that meeting when it was decided to
And
seek
it
the
was
professionals.
it was a unanimous vote.
It was a unanimous vote.
Yes,
when
it
we made the
was.
decision to seek professional services. The comment was also made that we need to go ahead and move forward with the selection of board of people who will participate on this park commission at that same meeting. And this is what's happening. Nobody said at that time, let's wait. You're saying it. It depends on what the board want to do, but you can still come up with people you like to see serve on this new developed park commission board, whatever we may call it. But all that happened at the same meeting. So whatever the pleasure of the board. But at the next meeting, we need to be able to discuss the sportsplex and where we're going with the request for professional services, and we can also discuss the formation of a board.
And
Nothing wrong with that.
Mr. Andrew Smith, when will we receive those people put in for the
The date is October 15th, I think.
Good enough.
and then it's our next board meeting,
It's
October.
before your second, and I don't have all.
Oh, I was second, okay, all right.
Yeah, well, October 15th on a Sunday, but we meet on the 2nd and the 16th, 13th. That's a Friday.
It's a Friday, correct. And they will be in to be reviewed at the meeting on that Monday.
On the 16th. Good. Any other questions, comments? Did we have any action on the floor to take, Ms. Hansel? No. I was coming around. Sportsplex was it?
Yep.
Yes. It was the last on the agenda? I gotta get to executive session. I've gotta get to executive session. Lee, you good? Tommy, you good? Ms. Brooks, you good?
And I just want to say, I thought, I didn't,
I'm
Is that
sorry.
cloudy?
I'm
yes,
sorry, Ms.
we just celebrated the 46th
See.
Mississippi Delta Blues Festival, and just seeing the turnout was massive. I was so happy to see it. The mayor reported over $3 million were spent in Washington County, really, and also the Delta. And I just look forward to our 47th. It was a really, really good turnout, a really good festival. And other thing we need to get ready for now coming up, we got 2 festivals coming up. We got the Hot Tamale Festival coming up, and we got the, what's the festival in Leland?
No, you got
Sam
homecoming.
Chamber this weekend, and then what's the festival in Leland? Oh, I can't, it's in October too. We got a festival in Leland too, I just can't think of the name of it. Yeah, Frog Fest, thank you. We're getting ready for Frog Fest. So I'm excited because there's a lot to do in Washington County. So we have to let the people know that Washington County is very much alive and open for business.
Jerry?
You got a copy of Kurt document.
I will. All right, Ms. Stevens, you good? Ms. Durbin? All right, I need a motion to go into closed session, announce our intent for executive session. Let me do this first, though. I need a motion first, I'm sorry, Bishop. I need a motion first to copy all documents into the record. We had a motion and a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. And now I need a motion to go into closed session, announce our intent for executive session. I got a motion? I need a second.
Second.
And I got a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Show Ms. Brooks out of her seat. All right, we're going into executive session to discuss contract negotiations. I need a motion for that. And a second. And a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye. All right, we're going into executive session right now to discuss contract negotiations. All in favor, show by sign of aye. I did it already, didn't I? Oh, mic's off.